Sloak was awfully impressive this season. Took C.J. Stroud to heights unexpected. Had his first interview with the Commanders last night. It was in person. He's got another one scheduled. The Falcons will want to talk to him, too, if they don't hire Belichick. And speaking of the Texans, Pro Football Writers named Texans rookie C.J. Stroud their rookie and offensive player of the year.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
This is R&R in the morning.
Man in motion, handoff, Pollard coming right. Bang, zoom, touchdown Cowboys.
Wembanyama about 3 feet behind the line. Got it.
It's R&R in the morning with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. It's Rob and RJ early in the morning. Grab some coffee, scratch your butt, sit down, and have yourself a fine meeting. He is the managing editor of Blogging the Boys. RJ Ochoa. Good morning to you, sir.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, yes, that's me, Robert. I am Rob Thompson. My wife noticed that you like to say Robert.
Yeah, I like to give people their full due. I think Rob is shortchanging you.
No,
there's 3 letters.
Wherever, as long as you're talking. But my wife and my mother are the only people that say Rob. And
sometimes things are necessary.
And when I run into my old junior high teachers.
Interesting. I know that there are a few nicknames that people have for one another. I'm waiting to unveil one that I have for you at the proper time, and maybe this is it. Here, let me know how you think about this, or what you think about this. So instead of Rob, Robert, whatever else there may be between those pieces of bread, Big Fudge.
Oh God, why?
Well, shout out to Marshall from How I Met Your Mother. He was Big Fudge, and Big Fudge was his name. He said, "I envision."
Because I actually played skee ball back in the day.
No, but I could see you rolling up to a Peter Piper and being like, "Hey, skee ball machine is here. Let me show you people how this is done." And I went to Dave & Buster's a few weeks ago, and it was the greatest challenge in the world to get enough. I felt I was old because I thought tickets were still the thing, but no, it's just points.
It's a credit card now, baby.
Yeah, that you rack up.
Mm-hmm.
And my son saw some toys in the prize area, and I had never felt that pressure before, and I thought, oh my gosh.
That's what I was gonna say. You're gonna get good if you're not now, because you end up leaving Chuck E. Cheese or Dave and B's or wherever other places that have the prizes. You better win something, man.
Exactly. Wound up winning a Super Mario and a Charmander, no big deal. But anyway, the skee ball. So some of the things were easy to do with him. He was able to kind of participate and help out with the points. But skee ball, not a thing for a 2-year-old.
But it's a tactile thing. Just give him the ball and let him play with it. Let him just roll it around. I mean,
I agree, but again, I felt the pressure of generating some
I'm
points.
telling
you. It was like, hey, son, you can have fun here, but we sort of have a
luckily,
goal.
For the longest time, I had a knack. And I saw Goldfinger just pop up. Yes, I'm also named after my father, but I'm not a junior either. I get it.
I am named after my father. I am a junior. Look at all that going on.
I know. And then we've got Robert. I ain't French. Thanks, Rudy. Good to see you this morning. And to all the morning crew, good morning. In fact, let's take care of the morning crew that are sounding off right now. Yesterday, I failed in my duties as a talk radio host, a giver of things, a provider of services, both tangible and in. I had some tickets to Willie Barcena yesterday that I didn't give away. I've been chastised by many. And really, you take care of them so they get up and take care of you. So get on the phone, you morning crew, 656-3776, 656 ESPN, the first guy that Edwin talks to. The first one that got it and could grab something. Going to go see Willie Barcena. He's going to be here next week, or a little over a week, February the 2nd at the Aztec. It's a Live Nation gig. You don't win it, you can go there to buy your tickets. If you don't know who Willie is, he's a very funny guy. I actually went and found him on it wasn't on Netflix, I don't think, but you can Google him. He's out there, man. Funny guy. We got tickets, a pair of them. Get on the phone right now. First guy Edwin says howdy to on our morning crew gets going. We got a lot to talk about today in the NBA. A surprise firing, quite frankly. The Milwaukee Bucks cleaning house, saying goodbye to Adrian Griffin. Is Doc Rivers on the way? We're going to look at the retread capital of the world. I think the Premier League, do they rotate their what are their coaches called?
There are several terms, and it's not just the Premier League; it's worldwide soccer.
But I'm just thinking about Premier League, though. Is the Premier League
the manager? So the synonyms that you're looking for, you've got the manager, you've got the gaffer, and you've got the skipper. Although skipper kind of a baseball term as well. So you can
Is the gaffer the one that holds the mic?
The gaffer is the one that holds the mic, but the gaffer in this case is also the one who lays out the team sheet, the starting 11.
The little dude on Ted Lasso.
I mean, do you think Jason Sudeikis is little?
No, the dude that left to go to the other team. He was the gaffer.
No. That's not the gaffer. That's the wunderkind. No, Jason Sudeikis is the gaffer.
Oh,
that's the manager. Like,
well, that's the guy I'm talking about. Do they rotate managers like the NBA does?
Oh no. You think that they rotate? You think that's like a team?
Well,
like,
no. What I'm saying is the NBA retreads dudes. If Doc Rivers lands in Milwaukee, the ultimate retread, the ultimate dude that shows up that we thought we were gone. And I'm not deriding his talent, but at some point, somebody else needs to step in and take the place of the next generation. And Doc, you had your run, baby. You shouldn't have been hired at Philly. He shouldn't have been, but fired at Philly, but he was. And anyway, we're going to talk about Adrian getting the hook, and the Spurs taking on Oklahoma City tonight.
Oh yeah. Where the real rookie of the year is playing, Rob.
Oh,
don't you know?
What's his name?
Chet.
No. The dude.
Really
is it Nick Wright?
Name.
Who's the dude? Nick Wright?
Oh no. It was Zach Lowe.
Zach Lowe. I get the two confused. Zach Lowe is woefully misinformed. Woefully misinformed. I don't know what lens he's watching the league through. But we're going to talk about what Mr. Wright has to say, or Zach Lowe has to say. Mr. Zach Lowe, sir. I will write a sternly capitalized,
and you will sign it, Robert.
Robert.
Maybe Big Fudge.
Have a good day, sir. I said good day. It would be one of those.
Said Big Fudge.
I don't like Big Fudge. The connotation of that goes a lot of ways. A lot of different things.
I think it's interesting. It's either Big Fudge or Toenail. You could pick one or the other.
We'll discuss this at 9:30 when we air our grievances. Exhale the good. Inhale.
Exhale is
the bad. Yeah, exhale the bad. Well, now it makes Big Fudge, man. That's something that sticks. I don't like that.
Just walking down the grocery store. Hey.
It's mock draft season. You've seen that? We had to pull.
I've seen that. I've written about 14 mock drafts already. Welcome to life as a Dallas Cowboys fan in the final week of January. This is what we know.
This is what we do. But not only did the Cowboy beat and 26 other teams, quite frankly, 27, 28 now. But we had to pull a haircut out of the crypt. He has his 1.0. I saw it yesterday. Very special Sports Center. I saw the scroll. I thought, I got to stop and see this. And it was a haircut, Mel.
Talk about
without Todd.
Jeez.
It's weird not seeing Todd there, man. His
right.
Statler to the Waldorf that those two were. And anybody who gets that reference, I wish I had saved some tickets for.
I actually want to ask you to hold me accountable to something.
Oh, what's that? DJ, I'm down.
So you mentioned it, and we'll get into it in the mocks, but Mel Kiper released his now they do like mock draft 1.0. Right. And they do that because I think it makes you think like there's some level of accountability because when they get to like 7.0, you're like, oh man, there's been 6 of these. There's been 6 iterations prior to this. But despite the fact that I do this for a living, I don't ever cross-reference this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm never like, wait a minute, what were the first 6 versions? So something I tell myself every year when I get deeper into this is like, you know what I'm going to do next year?
Just start printing them out one after the other.
Well, I'm going to create like a spreadsheet, and I'm going to track their progressive mocks for the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to see like how it changes positionally and how it changes throughout the process of it all. But we've got Mel Kiper's 1.0. We've got Daniel Jeremiah's 1.0. So we got the two, head honchos. Dane Brugler doesn't really have a 1.0, but he has, some mock drafts. There is one position that is very popular for the Cowboys right now.
Is Broadus a good draft dude?
Oh, dude.
The best, right?
Broadus is the GOAT. I mean, and obviously from the fan, and he does a lot of stuff at DallasCowboys.com.
Mm-hmm.
Broadus has a Super Bowl ring as a scout. I mean, so there are very, 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 very few people that, know more and they're forgotten.
We're talking about Brian Broadus, and you gave him his credits. It's where? DallasCowboys.com.
105 the fan and formerly DallasCowboys.com, but they do a lot of cross stuff this time of year.
He's a interesting cat. I like him. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
But he's an interesting cat.
Poor dogs. Dogs are never, he's an interesting dog. It's just interesting cat, Dogs got the short end of that stick.
No, it describes Broadus pretty well.
I'm just saying, why do cats get to be the reference?
Well, no. I'm just saying in his
animal.
circumstance, I could have said a lot. I could have compared him to a dog, but I decided to compare him to a cat because he is much like a cat.
I'm just talking about the expression. So, somebody's an interesting cat. Why can't the expression be an interesting dog? Why does it have to be a cat?
I think it's applicable both ways. Because cats that hit cat back in the 50s. But that's my dog. I mean, it's applicable both ways.
Nobody ever says
that. But what if I just said, Broadus, that's my dog, man. Broadus, we're down. You would have just let it go. You thought that guy's cool. But no.
I agree with you, but nobody ever says, to your point, they're not interchangeable. Nobody says that's an interesting dog, and nobody says that's my cat.
Well, they say that, but the connotation can change depending on the circumstance.
I'm just saying, let's give some more love to dogs and cats in different respects. Well, the way that they're currently getting.
Do you have a cat?
I don't have a cat. I have 2 dogs, that's why I was bothered by the expression, because you're like, that's it. Like, he's an interesting cat. Let's call any human being an interesting dog and give credit to dogs.
Honestly, I'm going to be honest here. I didn't mean it in the most complimentary sense.
I don't know, but it sounded complimentary. And
well,
so again,
it is to a degree, but it's not like if I just said, see, that's the difference. This is a English for those that have it as a second language. It's the connotation that gets you whenever you're trying to know. But if I just said that's my dog, you'd go, oh man, he really likes that guy.
So,
but if I said that's an interesting cat, you go, oh, what do you mean interesting cat? So you go, that's not in the same level of would have been a higher one.
Wow. So you're saying that's my dog is like the utmost level of respect you can give someone.
Is it not?
I don't know.
I think it is. You go, that's my dog. People go, why don't you like him? No, they go, man, you must really like that dude.
I'm fine
Edwin,
with that.
Am I right?
But I also want to say, I wish the implication is that dogs cannot be interesting, right? Like, I break down the expression. Well, it's like, oh, this person is an interesting cat.
I'll be real with you. I don't really want a really interesting dog.
Wow.
If you have a really interesting dog, you have some ruined clothing. You have things that have been chewed off. Point. You've got holes in your furniture. And see, I have interesting dogs. I know of what I speak. And sometimes that's not the best thing. Sometimes you just want a lazy yellow dog just laying on the ground looking at you like, I'll just come lay over here and lay over there. That's not an interesting animal. That's just a big lump.
As it relates to the expression, an interesting cat is sort of like plotting a takeover. Plotting how to it's like
much like a cat.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the leader of the cats in Dogs versus Cats, which was the movie in the early 2000s. I know you were a big fan.
In the interest of transitions in fine radio, I want you to mark the tape, Edwin. Are the 49ers the interesting cats of the NFL?
Oh, no. They're not my dogs.
That's a home run. We mark the tape. When we get back, we're going to talk NFL, and we're going to look back at the NBA, of course. Adrian Griffin gone. Then we don't know who the Bucks are going to hire. I can tell you this. On your keyboard, you can type LeBron = freak, and it could mean a lot of things. And last night, we're starting to see one of the meanings.
Speaking of that expression.
I'm just saying, it's all in how you emphasize the syllable. Coming back, the 49ers, if they go down again, are they the colossal failure they appear to be, or is this just the way the NFL is structured? The Cowboys aren't the only ones on sinking ships. If the 49ers don't win, where does that put them in history? We're talking championship weekend coming up, because that's what we do. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. As the weekend begins, and we're coming up to the best football Sunday of the year, you better have some fine meats on the grill early so you can enjoy fine football all day long. So what I recommend is heading over to Tri-County today. Go get yourself a nice little mix, because you're going to have to eat for about 6.5 hours. So you need to start the day before. Go get yourself a brisket, man. A Sunday in January on a crisp afternoon, there's nothing better than a brisket you go pull from Tri-County Meat Market. It's going to be trimmed perfectly. If you like the decal, they'll keep it. If you want it gone, they'll do it. They'll trim it. They'll get it. You got it. If you want Wagyu and all that fancy one, go get it, but put it on your smoker and have it. But you're going to want more than that. You got to appease everybody, right? Get yourself a couple of stuffed chicken breasts, and while you're there, some of that house-made sausage. And now we're talking a Sunday afternoon of football. Everybody deserves a good steak, day or night, weekend or whatever. They got them for you as well, and the 5 for $25 always in play. Head over to Hebner. Head over to that one. I'll tell you what, head out a pretty drive out on Ralph Fair. Either one of those locations waiting on you. Use that 5 for $25, fill a bag. You'll see what I'm talking about. There's 2 meals there. First responders getting 10% off, and man, oh man, you're leaving with a brisket that's pretty enough to give to your mama. Head over to Tri-County, put some good meat on your grill, and I know you're going to be thanking me later.
The NFL playoffs are here.
Read all about it, baby. One last drive.
Wild card, divisional, conference championship, and Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. Hear it on your exclusive home for the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Now is the best time to buy a Connecticut water softener. With current models being closed out to make way for the new ones, you can save big. Call Connecticut at 656-PURE and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you. That's 656-PURE.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
It is time to play Pass the Pigskin for a chance to win $5,000 cash and tailgate prize packs. Celebrate with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds by entering the Pork Rind Appreciation Day giveaway at porkrindappreciationday.com. That's porkrindappreciationday.com. And don't forget to pick up your favorite bold flavored protein packed Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds today at HEB.
You can make the decision right now to get lasting joint pain for 2024. Because of that pain in your knee, shoulder, call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative non-surgical pain relief. Your body has what it needs to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue, and QC Kinetics can make it happen. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. The future of pain treatments has arrived, and QC Kinetics has tens and thousands of satisfied patients all over America. People with back pain, hip pain, any pain associated with arthritis or an injury. This is not a Band-Aid. This is a revolutionary treatment that can get you moving again, get you your life back. And best of all, it's non-surgical. If this is your year to decide to fight back against that pain, take the first step now and call QC Kinetics to get a free consultation on the calendar today. Call 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
Get deals on what you need during MVP's bonus days at Lowe's. Right now, save $250 when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch sliding miter saw and adjustable stand together. Plus, save $710 on an LG kitchen suite and earn 3 times the bonus points on all LG appliances. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Bonus points calculated before tax and fees after applicable discounts of any. Valid 1/15 to 1/26. Subject to change.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Anjali.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just got an alert for a strange charge on my card.
No problem. We make sure you're never held responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card. Let's see. Did you purchase something from a t-shirt cannon store yesterday?
Absolutely not. No, I already have like 3.
$0 fraud liability guarantee. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard. Limitations apply.
Don't miss out on limited time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $100 when you spend $999 or more on all major appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 1/4 through 1/24. Selection varies by location while supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
Is your phone plan messing with your savings plan? Don't get stuck paying for things you don't want. With Verizon, you only pay for what you need. And for a limited time, when you bring your own phones to a Verizon store, you'll get an amazing price on your plan. Plus, you'll save on things you actually love, like the Netflix and Max with Ads bundle. And it's on our award-winning 5G network. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today for an incredible deal. A better plan to save is Verizon. Additional terms and conditions apply.
What does it feel like to file with TaxSlayer and get your guaranteed maximum refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
All your refund is belong to me.
Using the power of TaxSlayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
Oh, not fair. You use TaxSlayer.
Save up to 80% when you file with TaxSlayer. Start for free.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on Carol. She's more focused on hitting a high note than the car in front of her. Why pay a rate based on anyone else? Get one based on you with DriveWise from Allstate.
Not available in Alaska or California, subject to terms and conditions. Rates are determined by several factors, which vary by state. In some states, participation in DriveWise allows Allstate to use your driving data for purposes of rating. While in some states, your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Generally, safer drivers will save with DriveWise. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
God, I'm so stressed. It's a brand new year and our business is busier than ever.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
The Jim Rome Show.
Hey, Jim Rome here, and back in the military city of San Antonio.
Weekdays at noon on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Good morning to you. I'm Robert Thompson. That's RJ Ochoa, the managing editor, Blogging the Boys. 49ers are in it again. I mean, it's the usual suspects for sure, although the Patriots are by the wayside, but here sit the Kansas City Chiefs. There's last four, arguably game in and game out, the best team in football other than Kansas City over the last 4 years.
I mean, no.
No, top five, top four.
They top probably four, yeah, but they don't have the results to show for it.
Well, no, what I'm saying is I should say regular
point.
season up until we get to the Super Bowl. When we talk about the 17 weeks of the season and the playoffs, the 49ers are always in the conversation. I mean, they're always there. They've been there since Pretty Boy.
They're terrifying, certainly. I wouldn't say they've been there since Kyle Shanahan. They had a real struggle early on.
Well, Garoppolo
handful of years
took him.
If that's who you're talking about.
Yeah.
So
Shanahan, in my parlance, he's a skater boy. Big little fudge.
He was a boy and she was a girl. Can I make it any more obvious? So Jimmy got there in 2017, and this little run of theirs started in 19. They went to the conference championship game. They blasted the Packers, and they lost the Super Bowl to the Chiefs.
So 5 years.
And they've been kind of chasing that. It's their fourth title game in 5 seasons.
Yeah. So I mean, they've really been rolling. Kansas City, I mean, make your reservations.
Like,
well, I mean, I think the NFL is structured for the rich to stay fairly rich for about 4 or 5 years. And then, the way that the league is created, it's very difficult to stay that way due to salary cap reasons. There's supposed to be this rise and fall, but there are certain franchises that have an innate ability to maintain greatness, or at least for a period of time. They have a run of luck, whether it be drafting unheralded dudes or they find somebody and as a cast off and they turn in to be able to provide tremendous output for 2 years for very little money. I say that relative to their other. And with that in mind, the league is structured so it's very difficult to change your station immediately.
My contention is that the Niners have to win it all for it all to count.
So
I think everything you're saying has some merit, but if they don't, and not just Sunday, like 4 title game appearances in 5 years is great. But so we're gonna play a game, Rob. Dynasty or failure. There's no in between. You gotta decide whether the teams I'm about to offer to you are dynasties or failures. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna play with the idea is I'm gonna answer yours with the mindset that is, if you ain't winning titles, it ain't worth it. Or, the ring is the thing. And without that, it was an empty loss of a season. I'm going to come at you from that perspective. So yes.
Would you consider the 2007-ish Phillies through 2011, 2007? This 5 straight years of Phillies baseball. Would you consider them a dynasty? You think about baseball dynasty?
Not even close. Who was their baller that disappeared as soon as he got paid?
Well, they had Ryan Howard. They
That's
had
it,
Chase Utley.
Ryan
But so
Howard.
they did win the World Series in 2008.
Yeah.
They lost the World Series in 2009. That was the last Yankees win. And they lost the NLCS in 2010.
Not even close. You need 3 years of in the championship with 1 win to be even
my point
in
is
the conversation.
they went to they went to, if we just use the terminology conference championship, they went to the NLCS 3 years in a row. They won it the first 2. They won the whole thing, but they progressively got worse over that 3-year run.
No.
They lost the NLDS the final year.
They were never the team they were in 07. It never came back.
Oh, wait. So do you consider the Celtics of about 7 years ago, the Ian Thomas, Isaiah Thomas, the Isaiah Thomas Celtics, Kyrie Celtics? Like, do you consider them a dynasty at all?
Absolutely not. No one does.
Well, but maybe this washes over you. They lost back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals in 17 and 18. Then they lost the semis on the Eastern side in 19. They lost the Eastern Conference Finals in 20. They lost 3 out of 4 Eastern Conference Finals. And then if you extrapolate it, they lost. They won it 2 years later, obviously 2 years ago, and then lost the finals. But my point is, like, I think you offer that that idea to any sort of fan base. You see, you can go to the finals, the conference finals, 3 out of 4 years, 3 years in a row, whatever. Everybody signs up for that. You know what I mean? Like ask Cowboys fans, like, would you like to go to the title game 3 years in a row? Everybody be like, hell yeah, I'll do that. But do you? So they didn't win a single title, the Celtics. You don't consider them a dynasty at all. They have no dynastic properties. That fair?
No, there's no dynastic properties at all. Only they have 1 or 2 of the attributes, and you need 5 to be a dynasty, and they might have 1.
Let's keep it football related now. Let's get back to football. Do you consider the Purple People Eaters, the early 70s Minnesota Vikings, to be a dynasty?
See, again, I'm answering this question in the frame of, if you don't win a title, it ain't a dynasty. It's a good story, and it's a good run, but it ain't a dynasty. And the Vikings and the Bills, those are not dynasties. I'm sorry. You didn't go home with the ring.
I'm not offering, Joker, that these are dynasties, but these are comps for what the Niners are currently experiencing.
I said that, Joker, by the way. I said it takes 3. That's what I said.
The early 2000s, the early 70s Minnesota Vikings, they lost back-to-back. Actually, they lost 3 out of 4 Super Bowls and then lost the NFC title game.
Yeah.
So you're talking about they went to the title game 4
out of 5
years.
It's a good run.
Who does that sound like, though? Who does that sound like went to the title game 4 out of 5 years?
It's the Cowboys. The 49ers. There's years. I mean, they were good runs.
They even won 3 of those title games, the Minnesota Vikings. This is the one that it reminds me the most of what the Niners are going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
The early 2000s Philadelphia Eagles. You consider them a dynasty at all?
Any kind
of dynastic properties.
Give me the quarterback. His name slips my mind.
Donovan McNabb.
Yeah, the guy that keeps trying to rebuild himself. No, not even close.
They went to 4 straight NFC championship games. They lost the first 3. They did win the 4th one, and then they lost the Super Bowl. Donovan McNabb threw up. T.O. had the broken leg and all that stuff.
Freddie Mitchell, I'd like to thank my hands all those years.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my point. Like, the Niners kind of have to win the Super Bowl this year.
If
they don't, this is a failure of an era. Like, do you look at, so if you play the game dynasty or failure, do you look at any one of the teams that we just talked about as more dynasties or more failures? I recognize those are grandiose ways to describe you.
And that's where the variance comes, because
you have to
success is in the, no. There's lots. A fan's view of success is one thing, but as a fan, I view success in a lot as
do you think any Celtics fan is like, hell yeah, I loved that 18 team?
Yes, I think there's a lot of Celtic fans that spent a lot of good times with that team because they did win a lot of games. There's something.
What?
Well, you say so what in hindsight, but in the run, it's a good run. There's nothing wrong with it. But that's like being a really good player
now,
or going into the Hall of Fame. And you have to kind of look at these things like, is it about the enjoyment for the fans, or is it about the ownership making money, or what is it? What is the success?
We have the benefit of that hindsight with regards to the Niners.
Only 1 in 30 or 1 in 32 teams gets a ring. If it's only the ring, and you've got teams like Detroit, and you rate success according to where you are. You're an F1 fan. You're an F1 fan. If Haas is on the podium, they are celebrating. My God, We shouldn't be here. So when teams like
Lions are
Detroit,
Haas.
yes. Yes.
Does that make Dan Campbell Gunther?
Pretty much. The analogies is there's a lot of giggling guys right now who've been following F1. But yes, there are levels of success that we grade. And then there's the umbrella of, well, did you get the ring? Because I'll tell you what, it is a sad, morose world if you look at your team as only the ring is the thing.
I think
Cowboys fans have to attest to it. Modicums of success are enough.
You're looking at this through the prism of context, though, and I appreciate that. But with that being said, if you're a Niners fan, you have to look at this and say, we've been to 3 of the last 4 title games. We have nothing to show for it.
It's been a good run.
All the pressure is on us this weekend.
Absolutely.
They have to turn this in. I mean, at the very least, if you're a Ravens fan and they don't get it done, you've got 2 Lamar MVPs. And not that that is any kind of solace, but you have that at the very, 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 very least. If you're a Niners fan and there's nothing to show for this, if you lose the title game, or even if you go on and lose the Super Bowl, if it winds up being the color logo matchup and the conspiracy lives on, and you do not win this thing, you have nothing. You have no.
Do you think they feel it? Do they think they feel that way? Do they?
Dude, I mean, they have again, these, I recognize how dramatic it is to jump from failure to dynasty, but you have a chance to cement this team as one of the greatest, cores in a long time. But you need that. And without it, the George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, all this just kind of floats into the wind as just a normal, really good team that couldn't get it done.
Lots of great talent and proof needed to be brought for Kyle Shanahan. I mean, there is some justification. This dude's going to have to earn after being called the whiz kid for so many years.
Sean McVay's the whiz kid. He's the kid from Ted Lasso.
Well, you talk about teams with lots of talent and not quite meeting expectations up to this point. This Milwaukee Bucks story is pretty good. Adrian Griffin was the head coach to a really good, freakish team. By the way, that's a little pun there. He's gone now, and who's going to be next? Let's look at the NBA as we have our first major firing of the season. That's coming next. We're glad you're with us this morning. He is RJ Ochoa. I am Robert Thompson, and this is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, we got a couple of championship games to get ready for, and I tell you what, it should be a lot of fun this weekend.
Who's facing the most pressure this weekend? I say San Francisco. We'll debate that coming up on the Blitz. Plus the Spurs, they start a 7-game homestand tonight. Are they trying to win? We'll talk about it on the Blitz starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When was the last time you went to the dentist? Need a new dentist? Hi, Jason Minix here. Go see my dentist at Smile Structure Dentistry and Braces. Smile Structure can handle all your dentistry needs, from general dentistry to oral surgery, orthodontics for the kids, or Invisalign for adults. Mention this ad, get a free exam and x-rays. Veteran owned with 5 San Antonio area locations. Learn more and book an appointment online at smilestructure.com. That's smilestructure.com.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
Find LS Tractors at Dietz Tractor in Seguin, known for top performance, durability, and innovative features, and ideal for tough tasks like mowing, tilling, plowing, and hauling. LS Tractors are your reliable choice for farm, ranch, and landscaping needs. Experience unmatched dealer support at Dietz Tractor for parts and maintenance. They're not just selling tractors, they're building lasting relationships. Take advantage now. 0% financing available with approved credit on LS Tractors at Dietz Tractor in Seguin. LS Tractors, start blue, stay blue. Dietz Tractor.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. there is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the scenic views stick around after the sun sets, and your favorite cocktails keep you company long after overtime. Where else can you unwind with bourbon and late-night bites? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular.
Are you tired of going to the dentist over and over again? Hi, I'm Dr. Andrew Mueller, Chief Oral Surgeon at Doctors Implants.
We have put a lot of money into fixing my teeth over and over and over again, a filling or a crown or this or that.
At Doctors Implants, replacing your teeth with full mouth dental implants might be the long-term solution you're looking for.
The 6-Hour Smile is a permanent full mouth teeth replacement. Your new smile will be custom designed to fit your face and lifestyle and will look and function just like regular teeth. You won't need to remove them from your mouth overnight, and you won't need adhesive to keep them in place. Eat freely and smile confidently again. Research them at doctorsimplants.com. Receive a complimentary doctor's consultation and CT scan when you call 210-640-0000. Again, that's 210-640-0000.
Home of the 6-Hour Smile.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-378-4750. So if you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-378-4750 to speak with a live person now. Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio.
Adrian Beltre is first ballot Hall of Famer, Ranger great, one of the greatest third basemen I have ever had the witness to watch, or any other position as well. Congratulations, Beltre, as the Rangers' run of good luck continues. First ballot among the other two, Mauer and Helton going in. It is the Baseball Hall of Fame. This is, that talking about all or nothing. There's going to be a day at some point has there been a year where nobody got in? It's been recent, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Baseball Hall of Fame's pretty silly sometimes.
You know what? It's kind of like what we were talking about earlier, how you view success. And what bothers me about the Baseball Hall of Fame, and I mean, you can argue about the Basketball Hall of Fame has, everybody gets in for whatever. It's about the enjoyment of the sport. It's about promoting and the wonderfulness of the sport. That's what the Hall of Fame should be. It shouldn't be this exclusive club that's difficult to get in because some writer who's 90 years old feels like you didn't measure up to old One-Eyed Johnson in 1917.
Yeah.
And
Well,
like,
it's
what are
like-
you talking about?
Was it Derek Jeter that wasn't unanimous? And
Yeah.
like, why does somebody have to ruin that? And my take on Hall of Fames or Halls of Fame is usually it's kind of a museum to the history of the sport, in addition to being the Hall of Fame. That's why like the debate about whether like Julian Edelman should be a Hall of Famer is a dramatic one for a lot of people. But you couldn't tell the story of the NFL without him. You know what I mean? That's
I don't know where the bar is, and even when I hear Edelman, I go no. But I mean, but that's for another day. Like Doc
what about
Rivers.
today?
Is Doc Rivers already in the Hall of Fame? I bet he's already in Springfield.
I think he
or
is. Because
something.
again, the rules are very weird. He is.
We'll check. He is the heir apparent or the next maybe. Yesterday the Bucs dismissed a young Adrian Griffin, first-year head coach. What a huge it's a huge move. But when you consider the circumstance he found himself in, the East is really a three-horse race here, with Miami making a move yesterday to pick up Terry Rozier to kind of lessen the gap. But 4 games separate 3 studs when you talk about Boston, Philly, and Milwaukee. And Milwaukee, while they've been winning, and you're going to hear on the Nationals that they've been a little loose, that defense isn't quite there. The get back hasn't been part of the game, but they've been scoring enough points, and Giannis has been freakish enough to carry him through. And Dame stumbled out of the gate, but it seems like there have been nights, well, not seems, there have been nights where he's carried him, and he's finding his way, but defense hasn't been there. So he was fired. Now, the circumstances of this, the team wasn't losing. They just weren't winning in a way that I believe kept Giannis happy about the current window of opportunity, as you're going to be hearing, that this window is small with Dame Willard and they need to strike while the iron is hot. Well, yeah, Adrian Griffin was here before you went and got Dame.
It is a very NBA move, right? A very dramatic, very, I don't want to say spur of the moment, but very, almost feels unnecessary. And one of the things where the star is going to get the benefit of the doubt, right? Once Giannis speaks about this, like every Bucks fan is going to be like, "Oh, well, duh." Giannis has spoken, and I know what you're going to say. It feels like, and it's hard to argue with that. This is, what was the rant? How long ago was the rant? The equipment manager rant that Giannis went on, that everybody has to be better, blah blah blah.
Right.
Maybe you argue that was the
May
break
or
point.
Was it May or June of last year? It wasn't that long.
No, it was like a month ago.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And so. And it just seems, sometimes I like to think about things. If an alien landed here, right? If an alien jumped into the show right now, is like, "Hey, Big Fudge, RJ, explain the NBA to me. Explain how this works." The Bucks, they've been really good, right? They won a title a couple years ago. Okay, great. They have the second best record in the East, and they got rid of the coach. You know what I mean? Like, if you had to explain the situation to somebody who had no idea of the understanding, it would sound really silly on its face.
I make fun of Shaq because the dude is in every other commercial. He is pushing lotion and pizza and printer juice and
printer juice,
toner.
Well, there's a word for that.
I prefer a more.
I've never heard it called printer juice before.
Well,
okay.
You're too young to remember the mimeograph. Were you in school when there wasn't printers? There were mimeographs when you got the paper and you would smell the ink. When it had,
is this around the time where the people had to move the wirings to connect your phone call?
Well, the settlers had just reached California via the Western Trail.
What does the mimeograph have to do with Adrian Griffin?
Well, I don't. It has absolutely nothing. But we went down a path. In the olden days, Adrian Griffin is a victim of circumstance because, like Shaq, who is so good at doing what he's doing, he leaves no room for the next guy. Right. Shaq, you got enough gigs. Go away. You got enough money. You own enough things. Let somebody sell some lotion.
Yeah,
turn the
let
gig
somebody
down.
else
Let
have the pistachio commercial.
Yeah. Why are you everywhere other than that you can? Be magnanimous. Make room for the next. You've got enough. Now, that's an argument on mine. I'd say make some room for the next. Adrian Griffin, by every measure, by just about everybody in a front office, will be spoken of highly. Everybody thought, well, heck, this first-year coach in a knife fight right now on the top of the East and really holding his own, despite the fact there had been a bit of a mutiny to start the season. So, and then they're going to let him go because they're worried about this small window in defense and get back to go get Doc Rivers. Well, what about let him prove it to you? Let me tell you, scared money runs from you. Scared ownership victories will run from you when you start acting scared. And this was a scared move. This was we better listen to Giannis. We better listen to the freak. We are worried because we're flyover Milwaukee country, and the moment things collapse, we're going to start looking like San Antonio with 5 wins with a big, tall dude that we're trying to learn his last name and figure out if he's going to be great. We'll be back to those days if we're not careful. That's not a recipe for success.
I don't remember exactly how, but on Tuesday, the movie Shallow Hal came up. And if you recall, the kind of general sort of lesson, if you want to call it that, of the movie was, perfect doesn't exist. I mean, you're wrong if you're there's a portion of the movie where I think it's Jason Alexander that plays his best friend in the movie, and he's the one who's like always looking away from people, and there's a girl with like a long toe, and he's like, I can't be with this person. It's like at one point in this little run, the toe got long, and the Bucks are freaking out. The Bucks are like, the toe is really long. You know what I'm talking about, Big Toe. And so I mean,
I actually own a company called Big
Toe. You all need to chill out. You need to come back down to earth, Milwaukee. You need to relax. And for Doc Rivers, reporting about this Doc Rivers thing was really funny. I'll give you the breakdown of the internet in a little bit. It is very strange.
Because it had to have been the same reaction I got when I heard Adrian Griffin out, Milwaukee looking at Doc Rivers, and I went, get the F out of here. Because as soon as I heard that, I got, well, that's obviously Giannis. Obviously, he called management. They were upset. They did all they could to keep him as long as he could, but they got bigger things to fry, and they got a title they got to go get, and they listened to Giannis, and they have gone to the other side of the fence. Good, bad, or indifferent, this franchise will never be the same because now their star is running it. You better be in for the long haul. Hey, we got more to talk about, and that star on the side of Dak's helmet, will it be there a long time? This is a very delicate situation, kind of a Dak and the Cowboys and his long-term viability as we go through the show. Coming back, we'll talk about it. This is Robin RJ, and you're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Big Toe, huh? We'll be right back.
The professional football playoffs are here.
Out of the gun, back to Dak. Left side of the end zone. Touchdown.
14 teams with only one goal in sight. The big game in Las Vegas. Presented by Flight by Yingling. Hear it on your exclusive home. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Joe Reinagle here. I want to tell you about something that has completely changed my life. I had vision correction surgery at Parkhurst New Vision. The results are amazing. The readers are a thing of the past. Hey, if you're like me and tired of those glasses, call Parkhurst New Vision at 210-585-2020. They offer a variety of services like vision correction surgery. So call Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020, or get them online at sanantoniolasik.com.
At Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, there's something that binds us all. The collective goal to transcend the ordinary. Introducing the Cobra Dark Speed Driver. Engineered with advanced aerodynamics, power bridge technology, and a large hot face for more speed and consistency. Visit us in store for a free custom fitting at Edwin Watts Golf Shops, or shop us online at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Hi, it's Jason Minix from The Blitz. Guys, Synergenics can help conquer your New Year's resolutions. Do you have lack of energy, motivation, and possibly low libido? These could be caused by low T levels. At Synergenics, they exclusively specialize in testosterone treatment and make it quick and easy to get your levels checked. And at Synergenics, you will get your results back at your first visit. To book your appointment, go to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Attention taxpayers. If you or your business owe the IRS back taxes or have years of unfiled tax returns, the IRS has greenlighted billions of dollars in tax relief to those facing financial hardship through its tax relief initiatives. If you have a delinquent tax problem and possibly facing wage garnishment, liens, levies, audits, or already in a payment plan, you may now qualify for significant relief. Qualifying and enrolling in this program could stop all collections, settle your tax problem, and may even reduce what you owe by up to 99%. Call the hotline at Tax Help USA to see if you qualify by dialing 800-726-4074. If you or your business owe at least $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS or state, you can now get the help that you need during these hard economic times. Call Tax Help USA to get your free tax assessment to see what you qualify for by dialing 800-726-4074. 800-726-4074. 800-726-4074.
San Antonio Card House, the premier card house. It's a new year, it's a new month, but it's the same old thing when you're talking about SA Card House. They're giving money away. $125K giveaway running all the way through the end of the month, January 31st. 527 chances to win. You know our slogan, you got to play to get the pay. 17 hot seats drawn per day. Yes, per day, every hour on the hour from 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. And this month they pulled out the wheel. That's right, 20 spin the wheel to win. $500 all the way up to $2,000. And of course, it's SA Card House, so you got the multiplier. The multiplier bonus is 100 to 149 hours. You get 2 times the multiplier. Once you get up over 150, it's 3 times the multiplier. When you're playing that much, might get a little famished, might get a little hungry, might get a little thirsty. Bounce on over to Foster's Bar and Grill and order some food from one of those 3 fantastic chefs. Check it out yourself at sacardhouse.com. That's SA Card House, the premier card house in San Antonio.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Homeowners, this is not a drill. Do not put off replacing old, broken, drafty windows in your home one more day. Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies, can transform your home, fixing common issues like hot or cold rooms or sky-high energy bills. Renewal by Andersen's Fibrex windows and doors combine the strength and insulation of wood plus the low maintenance and durability of vinyl, guaranteed to never fade, flake, blister, or peel. These are truly your forever windows, backed by Renewal by Andersen's industry-leading warranty coverage. Just text WARM to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for no money down, no payments, and no interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings are only in January. Text WARM to 200-300 right now. To 200-300. Don't wait. Text WARM to 200-300.
Don't let pain keep you from doing the things you love. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. Whether you've been living with chronic and nagging pain for years, or if you've recently experienced an injury, our goal is to get you out of pain as quickly as possible. Arasti is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, Arasti accepts most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagel, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's Rob and RJ on another wet morning. It's Wednesday. You know why I know that, RJ?
You looked at your calendar?
No, I got the trash out. See, I only get trash once a week, and if it doesn't get out, it starts to stack. And when it stacks, the varmints come, and then it's just a party. So if you don't get it out, rain, sleet, or snow, and it's not easy to get mine out. See, it's like I live out in the country. It's a bit to the road, as we say up there. It's
you got to put on the boots. You can't just do that in like flip flops.
No, that's oh my goodness, I got to prep for it. Like this is going to add to my steps.
You have to take like a bottle of water and some rations.
At night, you better take a flashlight because there's things scurrying around you. We had a mountain lion sighting. My neighbor who keeps pygmy goats is -1.5. As last Sunday, he keeps goats for a tax exemption. But a mountain lion, he has a game camera that he's seen the mountain lion. That's my property backs up to his. It's just right there. We got mountain lions. We got pumas in the crevices. You want to talk about anger? Pumas. Pumas.
I think that's wrong.
Well, emphasis on the syllables up to you. But there was a Travis Shamokery last night in the NBA. And we're going to play both teams involved. The Oklahoma City-Portland game last night. If you didn't see that was... You want to talk about furious? I don't blame Chauncey Billups at all. We're going to talk about that. Silver and black around the corner. Spurs getting ready for OKC. Shai Gilgeous and another dude that's trying to be the rookie of the year, though he shouldn't be. And even if he was, he ain't. We'll tell you what that means next. You're on
Dragon
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we got a couple of championship games to get ready for, and I tell you what, it should be a lot of fun this weekend.
Who's facing the most pressure this weekend? I say San Francisco. We'll debate that coming up on The Blitz. Plus, the Spurs, they start a 7-game homestand tonight. Are they trying to win? We'll talk about it on The Blitz starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right. Free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
With tens of thousands of satisfied patients across America, it's no surprise QC Kinetics gets 5-star reviews.
I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
I can recommend them highly. I would recommend QC to anybody.
QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I couldn't believe it. I honestly was skeptical, but the pain went from a 10 to a 0.
Real people with real lasting relief from joint pain.
QC Kinetics Regenerative Medicine is regenerating me.
And I recommend everyone seek out alternative to surgery.
This non-surgical approach is definitely the future.
I tell as many people as possible. I am an ambassador. I love QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. No drugs, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
O'Reilly! Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery needs to be replaced, our professional parts people can help you find the right Super Start battery for your vehicle and budget. Don't wait. Get your battery tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Denise has been playing jazz for 40 years. Last concert, one of the musicians fell sick with RSV. Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a highly contagious virus that can lead to breathing problems. This time, she's choosing to help protect herself with Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo. Abrysvo is a vaccine for the prevention of lower respiratory tract disease caused by respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, in adults 60 years of age and older. Abrysvo is not for everyone and may not protect all who receive the vaccine. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its ingredients. People with a weakened immune system may have a decreased response to Abrysvo. The most common side effects are tiredness, headache, pain at the injection site, and muscle pain. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, respiratory syncytial virus vaccine. For full prescribing information, please call 1-844-989-7284 or visit abrysvo.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks. I want to tell you about Prize Picks. For those of you guys that like to play and watch games a lot of different ways, there's lots of different ways to enjoy it. I've been a fantasy football player since the very beginning. Heck, I made my bones playing fantasy football, and Prize Picks is the first one that truly suits me. If you're a DFS player, there's no better place to go than Prize Picks because my knowledge matters. This is a game of skill, and I'm not worried about entire teams. I'm worried about my favorite player, my team, my league. All I got to figure is where he might be, where she might be, pick over, under, combine them with other players, get some prize picks, get some fun, but at the same time, use my knowledge. It's Prize Picks, and if you go to prizepicks.com, throw the word Alamo in there for your little promo, I'll tell you what, you're going to make a little bit of extra, get a little bit going, but I'll tell you what, Prize Picks is the one place I have found I can take my fantasy love and take it to the game. That's Prize Pick. Download today, use Alamo, and I know you're going to thank me later.
They're local, they're San Antonio, and they know sports. They're R&R in the morning, KTFM Floresville, and SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
In college hoops, the Fighting Texas Aggie basketball team took down the Missouri Tigers 63-58 to get back to 500. Missouri hadn't won an SEC game, and A&M needed it to get back to 500. The Longhorns won, too, got their second straight win over a nationally ranked opponent, beating OU 75-60. We're talking NBA next. Silver and black with the Spurs coming up around the corner.
This is R&R in the morning.
Man in motion, handoff, Pollard coming right. Bang, zoom, touchdown Cowboys. Right in Yama, about 3 feet behind the line, got it.
It's R&R in the morning with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. It's Rob and RJ. It's a get up and go kind of a day. Pack your slicker. It's a damp one out there. Watch for puddles, mind the brake lights, and go all you need. We'll get you where you're going. RJ Ochoa, managing editor of Blogging the Boys. I am Robert Thompson. Not a junior, though a proud son of a Robert Thompson.
Big Fudge, Big Toe. Trying these out.
No, neither fits.
How about Small Toe? Pinky Toe.
See, Big Toe, have you ever watched Stripes? I'm not Sergeant Hulka. I am not the Big Toe.
I literally don't know any of the words that you just said. I mean, none of those words.
Okay, there's people of an age have every right to be furious at our young Padawan apprentice. If you haven't seen Stripes, go watch it today so you can be part of a cool kid kind of club. One of the
I have a lot of
movies
things
ever
to
made.
watch. It's not on the top 100.
So Stripes, you have never seen Stripes.
No.
So if I
didn't know that was a thing. I thought you were talking about the gas station.
So if I say, well, it's
okay.
not so much the alcohol, it's the cough syrup that's going to get, you have no idea what I'm talking about. When I say we are the acorns that become the mighty oak, you have no idea what I'm talking about.
No, but
what we have here is one heavily armed recreational vehicle. You have no idea what I'm talking about. Hey, it's Silver Black. We do it every day at 7 o'clock, just like the military on the regular, but a little late. Spurs get to play host to the Oklahoma City Thunders tonight. Chet Holmgren and his Chet Holmgren, all 7 foot whatever of him, is coming in to San Antonio. It is a battle yet again of the Rookie of the Year candidates.
You know what my beef is with Chet Holmgren? I actually am bothered because I want to enjoy great basketball like we all do, right? That's why we like sports, right? We like people who do things that we cannot, you know, that do these incredible athletic Herculean things. I hate how much other people are making me hate Chet Holmgren. You know what I'm saying? Out of loyal, you know what I'm saying? It bothers me that Chet has done nothing to
I got to down him. Yeah,
individually, But to keep proper balance in the force, at least the way I view the force to be balanced, now I hate him because of these stupid ways that other people are approaching this Rookie of the Year discussion. It's a bummer because I want to enjoy him. I mean, this must be how original Carmelo fans felt about LeBron.
You know, I've gone through this so many times, and it's unfortunate, but I still don't look at Kevin Garnett the way that I should. But just because of the rivalry with Tim, you know, Kevin Garnett will never get the credit that he's due in my mind because
you could never enjoy he's got the world in his hands,
all that stuff and everything,
wow.
him sitting on the throne and everything after his career, which I should have enjoyed because I think in a vacuum, in my experiences with him, and I've been in the same room with him enough, that he's a good dude. I mean, he's as you take great umbrance to, he's an interesting cat, and I appreciate interesting cats. And he's one of them. But because of all the Timness during the T-Wolves years, that I just can't give him the credit that he's due. And that's what I think you're looking at with Chet Holmgren. Because, man, the comparisons we can't get away from. And the comparisons are going to last as long as they're both together and there isn't a separation. But I put it to you, RJ, that there is already separation. That the difference is already apparent, even in the last 3 to 4 weeks, as the pivot point for the Spurs was reached and they became this new thing with a point guard and flow and a competitiveness. We're seeing more than a point a minute, and the blocks per game is up significantly. So with that in mind, Zach Lowe, who I have tremendous respect for, he is one of the good ones out there. I disagree wholeheartedly with this.
So I've had Chet all season long, and it's the weirdest Rookie of the Year race. I don't think there's ever been a race like this where you could, if you wanted to, make a statistical argument for either player. If you wanted to, right? You like Wemby's got the raw stats, Chet's got the efficiency stats. I just don't remember a year like this when you have statistically guys both putting up big numbers. One, obviously he had a redshirt season, but he walks into a great team full of ball handlers who can set him up, including an MVP candidate. And another guy on a horrible team, bereft of ball handlers who can set him up until surprise, Trey Jones starting has helped. Who could have ever anticipated that? And the Spurs are, where are the Spurs now? I don't know. They have not won very many games. I don't understand. They are 8-35, last in the West. The Thunder are 29-13. So the Spurs are 17.5 games or something behind the Thunder. I don't know what you do with that because, I think Wembanyama is the best player of the two, short-term, long-term, medium-term. The team context is just universes apart. Wembanyama is doing everything for San Antonio, but their games ultimately don't matter. At some point, the stakes matter to me as a voter, this year a non-voter, but just a thinker. Oklahoma City's games are important.
See, right now he realizes he's sinking. He's treading water.
They face scrutiny internally and externally about, is this the first big roadblock for the Oklahoma City Thunder? How do they respond? And they respond by winning at Utah, winning at Minnesota. The Spurs face no space. They could lose 11 games in a row. No one cares. There's no scrutiny. There's no questions. And at some point that begins to matter. I think Wemby has opened up the window a little bit where this could become a competitive race. I still think I would lean Chet over Wemby, but I think it's interesting.
I have 14 problems with everything.
The podium is yours.
Okay, so these aren't in chronological order or even order of importance. I'm just going to try to blitz through them. This isn't the blitz, though, to be very clear, just from a trademarking standpoint. What's up with the backhanded compliment towards Trey Jones? Why do you have to catch a stray, right? Surprise, Trey. Why can't it just be Trey Jones is showing up and helping out Wemby? Why we got to put him down while we're elevating him? To literally, I think when you offer, if you want to call it context, but if you offer statements like, there's never been anything like this. It feels so weird. This is so unique. No, now you're literally basically effectively saying that you're moving the goalposts. It feels so weird because I want to change this argument to look this way, so it feels weird to me. And then to literally actually say Wemby's doing everything. Chet is on a team. I hate this argument because it gets applied to a lot of things, but what did we hear basically all NFL regular season long about Brock Purdy? And I'm not likening Chet to Brock Purdy, but it was or Tua for that matter. They're not even the most valuable player on their team. You could certainly say that about Chet right now. So, like, if you're not even the best player on your team, how are you? I know we're not talking about MVP. I know this is a rookie of the year discussion, but to then literally go from saying that to Wemby's doing everything for the Spurs, and then to make it, this is supposed to be an objective process, an objective evaluation, a completely void of human emotion. This is the housekeeper from the Jetsons. What was her name? The robot. You know what I'm talking about?
I do, and I should know the name. I'm ashamed.
Look up her name, please, for me. I think it was Trudy, but I could be totally wrong on that. Anyway, this is supposed to be a process that she can evaluate. She's the kind of person that you should be able to say, yo, who is the rookie of the year at this point in time? So then to literally go from like, oh, well, I don't know, Wemby's doing everything, but, you know, it just doesn't feel right. Who gives a damn about your feelings? This isn't about how I mean, and you're right, Zach Lowe rules. And I don't mean to like come at Zach Lowe, but Zach, we do not care about your feelings. Nobody cares about your feelings. We do not care if you're uncomfortable, if it's weird, whatever the case may be. Rosie, thank you, Cougs. That's the name of the housekeeper and the Jetsons.
It was.
Rosie does not care. Rosie is not capable of human emotion. So Rosie knows that Wemby is rookie of the year. Get the hell out of here with this weird goalpost moving crap.
You know, for the longest time as I grew up, when you went to a tournament, they had the MVP. And then tournaments started having the same debate because MVP, most valuable player. You apply to your team. Was it the best player there? And then I started going to see tournaments where it was the most outstanding player. You were the mop, not the MVP, to truly define what, you know. Have you seen that? Have you seen tournaments where you get the most outstanding player? It's not MVP anymore. It's mop. So you can define exactly what it is. I mean, when you say value, as soon as you go value, that is something that is assignable and relative. And then you lose. But outstanding, we can all kind of define what outstanding is. That's the best guy I saw. And it made it easier. So the name, I think, is the initial problem with this. That's where I'm starting from.
No, I think you're giving him way too much of a benefit of the doubt.
This is an age-old argument. Is the MVP the best player on the best team or the most outstanding player, period?
But this isn't MVP. This is rookie of the year.
Right. But they apply rookie of the year like they're Zach's argument is like it's an MVP award.
That's stupid in and of itself.
You're right. And anytime you hear a sentence, he goes, you know, Wemby is doing things we've never seen before, and he's alone, but for volume and efficiency. And then it went, but. And as soon as he said, but, you're like, okay, here it comes. And it was like, but, you know, he's on a better team, and he's not the first option, but the team's better. And you go, okay, now I get it. You're going best rookie on the best team, like the MVP seems to always be best player on the best team.
MVP is the best showman, or the best front man on the best team.
By
definition,
definition,
best singer on the best team.
They're applying the same values, and it's different. Rookie of the year is naturally going to be on a bad basketball team. Rookie of the year is naturally, and again, I will say it, playing his first year receiving paychecks from the team he's playing for. This is Chet Holmgren's second year, but we won't even throw that into the conversations. Ben Simmons be damned. But here we sit.
Even though things feel weird, we can't apply that weird feeling because that would ruin the conversation. Again, look, I'm not above admitting that the Spurs' lack of team success is hurting Wemby, and that bothers me and frankly upsets me. But you know, what can you do? I mean, they were competitive against the Sixers, and they should have beat the Hornets the other night, and maybe the Hornets look a little bit better now, and obviously, but like that's a fair thing to say. You want to say, hey, Spurs, you want to help this guy win Rookie of the Year? Win some games. I'm cool with you. I'll ride with you on this take. But to dance around and you know, move all these things, and it's you know, it's like when you're searching for a stat and you apply all these filters just to kind of prove and yield the result that you are looking for specifically. Like, well, Chet is really Rookie of the Year because he's on a really good team, and he's also somebody who benefits from great players around him, and they've responded to adversity like winning at Utah. What? What? You're right. That was a real, you know, firing squad that they were facing up against the Jazz. Well done, Zach Lowe. I mean, how about, you know, it's just, I don't know that there's like you know, it's hard to say like it's the market because we're talking about a Thunder player here, right? Like it's not, you know, it's not like Chet plays for the Lakers or something like that, but this is just this is trying to make this difficult. This is trying to build an argument against Wemby, but the argument for Wemby is so overwhelming that you actually have to couch it with, well, but Wemby has all this stuff, but it really doesn't matter to me in the moment that I'm making this conversation right now. If that's the case, if you always have to say that to protect yourself from a liability standpoint, then we really know who the rookie of the year is here. Like, it can be simple. It can be obvious. It can be overwhelmingly undeniable that Wemby is the rookie of the year. It's okay that that's the truth on January 24th. Nobody's going to read ESPN or listen to your podcast any less because we know that Wemby is the best rookie in the NBA this year.
Oh, he's going to vote for Wemby.
That's going to be the funniest
That's
thing
going to be his justification. Way back when. I told you. He's doing everything. And the separation was becoming apparent.
And then I sat down and I really thought about it. I was listening to Rob and RJ, Big Fudge and RJ. They just made some great points. And
you're trying, it's not sticking. You're going to keep trying, and it's just not. It's not the.
I think Big Fudge works better than Big Toe.
Neither works. The pasta is still al dente. It's not going to stick to the wall, and you can keep throwing. It ain't gonna work. And
how about prime rib?
How
about prime Rob?
Hey. What was Costanza's nickname? T-Bone. Prime rib T-Bone sounds awfully close.
I thought you were going to go Art Vandelay.
That's a pseudonym.
Right.
I want a nickname, and he chose his own. He wanted T-Bone.
Prime Rob.
Prime Rob has a lot of connotations. It's not bad. Prime number. I am indivisible by. Anyway.
Prime numbers are divisible by something. It's just itself and one.
That's what I'm saying. I'm indivisible by an even number.
Or any number.
Well, and you can expand upon that, but that statement on itself is
whatever. This was such a silly take.
It is. But what I wanted to yesterday, we were going down the list as the Spurs come home tonight. And remember, it's a late game as it's nationally televised as the two ROYs are going at each other. The Thunders are coming to San Antonio having stolen a game last night. Now, it's not their fault as to what happened. But they were given a game that, quite frankly, Portland won. I don't have the time to get into the details, but if you have the opportunity, get yourself in front of a video and just Google the game last night, and you'll see the last 2 minutes. It wasn't even that long. The last 45 seconds or so, last 15 seconds, excuse me. There was a weird double tech, Chauncey Billups thrown out game-winning shot from a second-year OKC Thunder where they pulled victory from the jaws of certain defeat because of a terrible call. What I'm getting at is the Thunder, the Trailblazers, the losing team last night, are appealing. Right. I think they're going to win this, man. Because what happened? There was an inbound pass, and the whole world knew the inbound was going to come, and Malcolm Brogdon, the recipient, the Portland Trailblazer, was going to catch it and call a timeout. Everybody knew it. It is direct. At this situation, we're getting a timeout, we're resetting. Well, the ref wasn't paying attention to that. Brogdon's trying to call a timeout. He gets swiped at, gets kind of fouled, grabs the ball again. Ref calls a double dribble. Brogdon turns in and goes, what? Coach goes, what? Double T's are thrown everywhere. Another ref throws in, and young number 86, I don't know who you are, goes strutting around going, you know what? I won that game. I won it. The Scarecrow. I came to life. I won this game. It was as bad as it gets. This has only happened 6 times in the history of the NBA where a game gets flipped or redone or restarted.
So
this is going to be one of them.
You're saying the Spurs can catch the Thunder and give them a double L, so to speak.
So
if they catch that L and then the one they're going to catch tonight, it's a twofer.
Mm-hmm. Could be. So we're going to get them tonight and Portland tomorrow night. I think tonight the Spurs I think OKC knows they stole last night. So they're either going to show up tonight on fire or they're going to look like my dog does when he did something behind the couch and I haven't seen it yet. We're going to kind of walk in and like, how you doing? Are you okay? Because you're going to find something in a minute and you're about to be mad at me. But right now I'm going to be real good. I'm going to stand still. Dog. So I get to think, I think OKC is going to lay low today. Lay low and hope nobody notices that we were gifted, presented, offered, and taken a game which we had no business winning.
I kind of like what you're putting down, Prime Rob.
So if you we used to call it Prime Picks, that might be a Prime Rob kind of pick. I'm liking this. This kind of falls.
This feels good.
And by the way, RJ Ochoa, you are now you're a longtime radio veteran. But you are now, you're in the show now.
Right.
And this is day what?
4,600.
No, but as in the show.
That's what I'm saying. 4,612. But in that sense, 7. Shout out
days.
Monica Geller.
We operate on a very guided principle in how we go places. It may not feel like it, but it does. And RJ has put together a you bring in new blood. It's awesome when you bring in somebody who looks at things from a different perspective that's never been in the same boat, and they go, "Hey, why don't we try this?" And it works.
Is that the rundown? That's
what I'm talking about. The new version of our rundown, which I really enjoy. It's one of those things that I would have been. I don't know what I don't know as far as what's out there.
I think we could call it the Rob down, maybe instead of the rundown. Or, there is something in sports media called the lowdown, not Zach Lowe. But it's Rebecca Lowe from the Premier League, which we're still working on getting you a Premier League team. All options are open. If anybody has a Premier League team that they think Prime Rob should root
Is
for.
there a Premier League team that perennially breaks your heart, that never crosses the finish line, sees it a lot, stumbles a lot, looks good doing it, has lots of fun, but never actually wins it all? Is there one of those teams?
I think you're a Tottenham Hotspur. And I'm not trying to just go overboard with all the puns, but Tottenham Robspur. You know what I'm saying? There we go. We've got a lot of room to play around here. You've got a name that works with a lot of things.
But seriously, as I search for my soccer team, is there a team out there that will reflect everything else I root for? I mean, I'm an Aggie and I'm a Cowboy. Those are my two passions in life. And both of them will continue to break my heart until I get over. But see, it's not as bad as Detroit. It's not as bad as some of the other teams that have never tasted anything. I get some regular wins. You know what I mean? I have more better days than
beat
bad.
Mizzou last night. What are you talking about?
Yeah, did you see Missouri at all?
Yeah.
Did you seriously watch it?
Yes.
Did you see Missouri's point guard? Looked like a dude that had just stumbled in from a rec league. That team is terrible. Anyway,
Jacob agrees. Tottenham is the play.
Find me a team that matches my fandom, because I need my heart broken on a. So Tottenham traditionally loses when it matters. They have a star that everybody loves, and Mama would love to date their daughter, but cannot win anything.
Harry Kane was that dude, and was came up through the academy like a dream of a player, but literally had to leave because he couldn't win anything with them. I mean, he literally had to leave because they are perennial losers. Gino offers Liverpool. I don't think a Liverpool did. Don't strike me
I
that
think
way.
the Beatles when I think, but I am happy to take on some fandom. And now that I have regular access due to my streaming capabilities, I can find a team and actually start watching and talking about it. So
pledge allegiance to Tottenham right now.
I bend the knee to no man, nor team, nor squad. Unified or not, I do not. I don't know. I gotta do my research. What are their team colors?
Navy and white.
And what team is this one? Liverpool or
no? That's Tottenham Hotspur. Liverpool.
I don't do U.S. men's
Liverpool won a
team.
title Liverpool won a title 4 years ago. So I mean,
there's a recent title that doesn't help.
That's what I'm saying. Tottenham is one. Arsenal is kind of a tortured team.
Oh, I like Arsenal. I like the name.
But they're kind of hot right now. Oh, and they're the Gunners. You know
what I mean? I like the Arsenal Gunners. What are their colors?
Like red, not quite.
Is their logo
red,
like a cannon?
Yes.
I am in. Okay, I'm now. I am now an Arsenal Gunner, and I will do my research from here on out. Is there? I need to have a scarf, and I'm going to learn the.
You brought up actually earlier this week when we were talking about this. You brought up All or Nothing. There's a recent All or Nothing season about Arsenal. If you want to kind of Mikel Arteta is your manager, your skipper, your gaffer. Kind of a young, kind of a
smile when you say that.
Kind of a
my gaffer?
Not Sean McVay.
Kind of a young, brilliant mind, good haircut.
Kind of Sean McVay, but kind of a Brad Stevens, kind of vibe. Like there's a little bit of
hot
both
shot nerd
going on there.
Nerd.
Yeah. So Mikel Arteta, you've got a lot to work with. Congrats. But you're in the mix. You're in the mix for a title right now. But they will probably disappoint.
Good. I want them close. I want them 48th minute close. You know what I mean? I want it right there.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
All right.
Arsenal Gunner. It is decreed. Follow them on Instagram, and that makes it official. Yeah.
And I am now a Gunner. I didn't know it was that easy. It's just like getting into my fraternity. It's just you really want in? All right, welcome in.
It's really more about, in terms of English living, where you're born. So, but you didn't have that luxury relative to picking any
No,
soccer team.
college
So, you know,
teams, our college teams are treated like Premier League teams. You're born to it.
That's a great point.
And that's what it is. And that's why it has that passionate backing with all the money to tie in with it, which now we're matching that. We're going to continue talking money about a quarterback in general. Quarterbacks in general, one in specific, that's the Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott. This is a delicate situation that the ramifications of which will ripple through time. We're going to talk about what needs to be done with Dak's money now and in the future. Excuse me. I'm sorry I didn't get to my drop button.
Do it.
Everybody good?
Prime Rob and Dak.
Everybody good?
Great. I'm fired up about this Dak thing.
This is
Let's
a very
buckle up and
and
get
you know
ready.
what? You're ahead of the curve. Let's give all due diligence and credit to that to RJ, who started talking about this 2 days ago. We're looking at Dak Prescott. What are the Cowboys to do with a $60 million problem? That's next. You know, when you're dealing with pain, when you wake up every day with something nagging you, you might not realize it, but it affects how you face the day. It affects how you treat other people because pain begets pain. And if you're dealing with it, stop. So many of us were raised to just soldier on. It doesn't matter. Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. You don't have to live that way. ROTY providers are around to fix that. So many of us wake up every morning with lower back issues, or so many of us have a frozen or bad shoulder. We just can't get what we need. We wait for help. If that's you, call ROTY. They're all around San Antonio. They accept most insurances, and when you walk in the door, you never need a referral to get there. They're highly trained in just about everything they need to have in their tool belt to get you fixed. It's a lot of different stuff rolled into one little meeting. And I'll tell you what, when you go for your appointment, you're going to get a full evaluation. They're going to find out what the problem is. My best example is myself. I've always had lower back issues. I always thought it was my back. Walked in the door, found out very quickly. They said, it's not your back, it's your hamstrings. We need to work on that and the pain will go away. And guess what? It did. And then my provider told me, when you start feeling this and that, that's when it's telling you things are changing and you need to fix it. So he taught me, or she actually taught me, how to fight it off before it even arrived. That's why I love ROTY, and so will you. Providers are all around San Antonio. You want to find one, go to ROTY.com. Lots of great tips and tricks there. But listen close. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. ROTY is here for that. Call them today, and I know you're going to be thanking me later.
The NFL playoffs are here.
Read all about it, baby. One last drive.
Wild card, divisional, conference championship, and Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. Hear it on your exclusive home for the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Lowe's knows pros want savings now. That's why, as an MVP's Pro Rewards member, you get volume savings on orders of $1,500 or more at the Pro Desk. And there's more. We've lowered our prices on select top products like electrical wire and drywall, so you can get the job necessities for less. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. In-store only. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text JUDGE to 425
42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text JUDGE to 42424. That's JUDGE to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Transforming your health isn't easy, but at the Y, you'll find friendly staff and neighbors ready to support you and cheer you on every step of the way. Find your motivation and join today. Learn more at ymcasatx.org. Find your Y this year at YMCA San Antonio. Happy New Year.
Well, family, this new year is off to a great start. Everybody, how are those New Year's resolutions?
Dear, my resolution is to cut my damaged hair and just start over.
Dad, my resolution is to take better care of my skin. It's so dry. Ew.
Pops, my New Year's resolution is to work out at the gym. Go up and drink a gallon of bottled water every day.
My resolution is to take up skydiving.
Mom, you're 96.
Don't you make me get it.
Family, my resolution is to replace all our appliances that have been destroyed over the years by hard water.
Sounds like your family needs to start the new year off with installing a Connecticut water system and get a head start on all those resolutions.
This guy's making sense.
There's a reason why we say Connecticut is the last water softener you'll ever own. Call us at 656-PURE. I'll even let you try a Connecticut water system for free. We'll change your water, and it'll change your life.
The last water softener you'll ever own. ConnecticutSA.com.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
This is the home of the Aggies, and this is Andrew Monaco. You're locked on 94.1 San Antonio.
Watch us live on whatever device you might have closest to you. You can go to YouTube. You can go to SA Sports Star, but go. We are sasportstar.com, R&R in the morning currently. Make sure you're watching us, subscribing, and doing all that. And while you're thinking about stuff like that, why don't you go try to win $2,024? It's our holiday cash contest. Easy to win, easier to play. Go to sasportstar.com. And while you're there, get yourself registered for that golf tournament. We're playing March 25th. It'll be at the Golf Club of Texas. It will be a blast. And we already, about a third full. That's rare. That's uncommon. That just tells you how much fun it presents. Had by all in just a couple of months. I'm going to try to get us playing this time, RJ. But so far it hadn't worked out. Everybody else had a good time. We drive around and do our best, but everybody's already got a head start. So I always feel like I'm late to the party by the time I get off air. Get moving. Everybody's already fired off and gone. So we get on a golf cart, grab our refreshments, and go help out.
Yeah, I mean, if we just got to roll up late and chastise people that are not playing well,
that's what we do. We help out. And let me tell you, RJ can play golf. I've played with him. I've seen it. He can play.
I mean,
it would not be, for most, it would be an improvement upon what you could probably do. So I'm just saying, as we are driving around. I, on the other hand, will ruin your day. CD's mom says he ain't it. Terrence Parsons says $40K or pack your bags, baby, because any more than that, you're overpaid. That is a statement that does not represent the Dallas Cowboys or the coming back. Is as funny.
Dude, that was so sad and meek.
If you don't know what we're talking about, Terrence Parsons, the brother to Micah Parsons, tweeted out this long thing about $40K. It was a
diatribe.
Yeah, it was a long thing. Well, can we get this sound, Edwin? Do we have this ready? Can we go get this? I think James sent it to us yesterday.
He apologized, and this is him walking it back after Micah tweeted out that Micah's tweet looked like the legal verbiage.
Yes.
And was like, Terrence Parsons Jr. does not speak for me, blah, 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 blah. And then Terrence spoke and just kind of.
We're kind of digressing. But I do think it's worthy as we set the background to where Dak Prescott finds himself in his current Dallas Cowboy career. This is the brother of the other superstar on this team.
Oh, man. I just want to clear up that any comments that I do make are bone. Micah has nothing to do with any of that. He doesn't. He doesn't give me any type of information like that. He makes his own decisions. I make my own decisions.
I was just told the leash on my rover will be released if I do not say this.
Put in his mouth like it's coming from him. Other than that, like people who want to twist my words up. I'm always gonna speak the truth. I'm a real fan. I don't do any fair weather fans or any
that's enough of this. I just find this hilarious that the brother. So the call was probably from Micah's agent because the Cowboys ain't going to call out Micah. It's his brother. It's not his fault. It really is.
Yeah. Well, his agent is probably like, your brother is about to make generational money. So everyone stay out of the way. Quit making this complicated.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sit down and shut up. As
it relates to Dak.
So here's Dak in this turmoil. Have you ever seen this before?
I was going to say this whole thing got Missy Ellioted or like Missy Elliott style. Like this thing got put down, flipped and reversed because the takes I've seen from the national media are like, and I agree with them, but they're like, Dak doesn't deserve this. It's like now y'all want to be the meme of the soldier, like taking all the heat for the person on the ground. Like now you want to protect Dak because the families of his teammates are coming after him on the internet. Ooh, whoa. But you guys will throw up your headlines and your whatever, in 2 weeks. So
let me ask you a question.
It's a tough,
because you sent me a great article. Michael Gelkin, Dallas Cowboy writer.
I want to get to this, right?
Yeah, and you sent me this article yesterday, but I want to give you credit as you saw over the hill. The common knowledge, the common thought, and one espoused by me and by you and many others was, you got to extend Dak because the financial hit. Wait till you see what happens to Buffalo next year when suddenly Josh is it costs them three times.
2024
coming up. I mean, wait till the ramifications start to really manifest when they really don't have any money. And so you really need to spread the mayonnaise out. But there has become this kind of frame of mind thought that maybe it's not. If you do this right, you can maybe in the King Solomon way kind of split the baby. Like maybe we can do both.
If my opinion on this means anything to you, Prime Rob, or you, loyal listener and loyal viewer, Michael Gelkin is. There are a number of great people on the Dallas Cowboys beat locally, but Michael Gelkin is the best. Michael Gelkin is amazing. If there's one person who I make sure to read and set my watch by, it is Michael Gelkin of the Dallas Morning News. He is incredible. And he is the most objective thinker, the person who doesn't allow his position to be swayed by the moment. And will very often, I like to think that I look under rocks that aren't necessarily, poked or prodded at. Michael is the person who will, really kind of dig into these things. And
attributes I would apply to you.
Thank you very much. But I say all this to say the fact that he wrote this is very significant in my mind.
Okay.
I want that context
describe
out
to
there.
us in your parlance, because I'm still kind of on the middle on this.
So Michael wrote an article in the Dallas Morning News that came out on Tuesday, and it's titled, "Should Cowboys Extend Dak Prescott? Breaking Down the Financial Details of the Quarterback's Contract." This was on the heels of Jason Fitzgerald of OverTheCap.com, who on Monday approached the Dak situation. And Jason Fitzgerald just laid out literally all the options. Here's what happens if you don't do anything. Here's what happens if you cut Dak. Here's what happens if you extend Dak. Here's what happens if you restructure Dak. And so Michael's position, as he kind of wrote this, and I'm certainly not speaking for him, was the Cowboys are likely going to work on extending Dak Prescott. But, and this was the first time that this kind of was offered out in this parlance, but they don't have to. And again, I find it to be significant that Michael is at least willing to go down this avenue. Because in the 2 weeks ago, going down this avenue was ridiculous, was ludicrous. Oh, he's going to show up like in the commercial. It was inconceivable to go down the idea of not extending Dak Prescott. But Michael noted correctly so that oftentimes in NFL contracts and other sports, but in NFL contracts, teams will add void years. They're called dummy years, whatever you want to call them, at the tail end of contracts. And they exist as years to kick down money when you want to restructure a deal. We were talking earlier this week, A restructure is out of a player's control. They cannot do anything. If teams want to convert some of their money into a signing bonus, it actually benefits the player. They get that cash up front. Yeah. The team just changes where that salary cap is being placed or where that portion is being placed on their year. So the Cowboys, if they want, can create, we'll call it $18.5 million in salary cap space by restructuring some of the money on Dak Prescott's deal
without doing anything else.
Right, to 2000, and Dak can't do anything about this, and it's not a negative for him.
Keep him under. Will he have to be here that much longer?
No. So he has 2 void years. It's 2025 and 2026. Those are not years that he's under contract, but those are years that are void years that they can put salary cap space on.
Even if he's not on the team.
No, that's not true. As it currently stands, if they work on an extension, they can massage these things down. Okay. But if he's not on the team next year, that 2026 value will accelerate into. You can't have him. You can't have 2 dead cap years for a player who's not on your team for both those years.
Gotcha.
So if we went into a world where the Cowboys again, I'm going very quickly because there's a lot to this.
Right.
If they restructured Dak and kicked money down the road to 2025 and 2026, and then he left in free agency next year, the 2026 value would also be absorbed in 2025. But there's a line of thought based on the circumstances, which are the team, dramatically disappointing to, I don't want to say mortgaging your future, but like, let's work. This is future us problem. Like, let's push this down and let's create this $18 million in salary cap space, because the tenable reality is that Dak is the starting quarterback of this team in 2024. You can entertain discussions for anything beyond that if you like, but for 2024, he's the starting quarterback. So you might as well create that. You cannot be afraid of pushing, whatever it is, $18 million into the future. And he will have a large, cap hit, dead cap, if he's not on the team in 2025. But who cares? Like, at that point, you're restructuring and figuring out the whole kind of shape of your roster and team anyway.
I get the logic. I do. I get the logic. But answer this. If I'm Dak, I'm his agent, why do I say yes to this? What exactly is in it?
You can't say no.
Well, okay.
You can't say no.
But I have. You do that to me, I'm holding out. I ain't coming to work. I mean,
if you hold out, then you're forfeiting, all that money.
We can't deny the fact that he has a little bit of leverage, a little bit.
I mean, he still does, but he kind of has to show up at a certain point. This is like a player holding out, like his salary is too high, you know what I mean, to forfeit in all reality. And we know from history that Dak is not afraid to go into a contract.
Yes.
He's done it twice. He went into a true contract year after the end of his rookie contract, and he played on the franchise tag. And this, frankly, in the world of Dak Prescott and Dak alone, benefits Dak because it sets him up to truly test open market free agency in 2025.
I get to finally negotiate with 31 different teams,
right,
instead of just you, and that cannot but help to benefit me financially, given the current state of NFL quarterbacks.
Even next year, he's still in the prime of his career. Like, that's the carrot at the end of this thing. And so the argument for that is, again, I think it's fair to believe that Dak is a part of the future of this team. But the argument is like, dude, this is really bad. It is so bad. Like, as bad as you think it is, it's actually 500 times worse than that.
Okay.
And so you have to go at this with some like significance on the line. And so I think I've come to the realization after assessing things for the last week and a half that this is the best path forward, because it establishes salary cap space in the here and now to build things around the 2024 season. You can structure contracts. You can sign Mike Evans to a 1-year deal or whatever you want to do. You have to go all in. That has to be what you're doing here. And if you win the Super Bowl and Dak hits the open market and he leaves, well, that sucks. If you win the Super Bowl and he signs back with you, awesome. If you win the Super Bowl and Mike McCarthy wants $1 billion because he's in a contract year, who cares? You won the freaking Super Bowl. But the reality is you're probably not going to win the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, it is. Now,
so you maintain, you keep that, that safety parachute on you jumping out of this plane in 2025, and you can pull it and you can start the complete and total. You can't rebuild around a quarterback entering his 10th season in the NFL in 2025. You can't.
I look at Dak Prescott like I look at a 6-year-old car that, it's got a whole little, like right at 100,000 miles. Thing's pretty trustworthy. I've never had a problem with it. I mean, little things here and there, but for the most part, I know it's going to start for me and it's going to run nice and I'm not going to have an issue. I'm not ashamed of it when I pull up in front of friends or family or cohorts, But I'm getting to the end. I'm almost there. I'm looking at other things, but this could last another 4 or 5 years if I really took care of it and made sure I did things it was good with. It could last. I was really curious to watch what happened with Kyler Murray because I was thinking, how are we going to extricate Cowboys are going to extricate themselves from a guy that I personally have given up on. I gave up on him early. He kind of brought me back nearly to the boat. Now I'm done, man. I don't care. The last straw. So how am I going to extricate myself from him? Well, there's one, he just leaves. I don't sign him. That is an untenable option.
We're just at a place where we can't, there's no middle of this.
But I wanted to see a Kyler Murray get traded. I wanted to see a big money quarterback dude get moved. Not an older dude like Stafford or Goff, which is where Dak is headed, by the way, the Stafford or Goff time frame, where you're kind of like, dude, it's just time, good luck.
Oh, dude, but Dak is going to be Mike McDaniel's Matthew Stafford next year if he's not on the Cowboys.
There you
know
go.
what I mean? And so, but you can't be afraid of that at this point.
I'm not.
You've done the Vikings you've come too far.
The Vikings haven't pulled the deal. The Cardinals haven't made the trade. I haven't seen.
But what does Kyler Murray have to do with it?
Because he's a big money quarterback that would be involved in moving that kind of money from one team to another. I haven't seen that. I've seen guys get a whole bunch of money and stay where they are. But if Dak's going to leave in the most financially expedient manner for me, it's going to involve a big dollar trade.
No, you can't trade him. He has a no trade clause. So
that's what I'm saying. I'm going to have to find a money amount where he'll go, okay, and then I got to find somebody who will take the deal.
No, you don't need to do that. What you need to do is the best path forward is to restructure his deal, which he can't have any sort of say
and then
over.
Wave goodbye.
Be prepared to. Again, the terminology is all in because you are all in. Your chips are in the middle of this table. You say, guys, it's senior year. Let's live it up. You know what I mean? We're just here. We're here till the sun rises. You know what I'm saying? And then we're good with that. And if you have to pay him, some exorbitant amount of money next year to keep him because he did something to earn that, again, you deal with that problem in the future. Or maybe he walks. But again, if any one of those things happen and you won the Super Bowl, the end of that sentence is that you won the Super Bowl. But again, you have to deal with, they're kind of stuck. They're halfway here. I don't know the last time you ran a mile, Rob, but when you, if you run outside, I hate running outside. My wife loves to, and I go with her sometimes because I love her very much. But when you get half a mile out or halfway out, however far you're running, you're stuck. Yeah. You can't just stop running because you're halfway away from your house or wherever the case may be. And that's where the Cowboys are. They're halfway out. So you've got to finish the run. And by that, I mean, you have to, at the very least, play the 2024 season out with Dak Prescott. The only thing that is up for debate right now is whether you want Dak back for 2025 and beyond. But you have established that you are unsure if you want the head coach back for that long. And the fact that 2025 will be year 10 for Dak in the NFL, you simply cannot make that commitment at this point in time. So the best course of action is you risk the future, whatever that risk even ultimately winds up looking like, in the name of giving yourself the best potential, the best possibility, as many, swings at this that you can have this season. And if it works out, awesome. We figure it out. But if it doesn't, then you're set up to move on.
Man, it sounds like to me that you're telling me, hey, man, go all in, leverage every credit card, and if it doesn't work out, go bankrupt. Just no, but that's
kind of what this is.
Every penny you've got, and if you don't get the Super Bowl, burn the place down.
To go back to your car analogy, because I think it's a good one. What I'm saying is, burn all your credit cards in the name of sprucing this thing up, because you're not going on, a road trip to wherever. You're not driving to, Canada. You have to go compete in a Formula One race.
Right.
That's what you have to do with this car.
Put some new tires on it.
Yeah, so you can't just be like, oh, well, it runs, we'll get there. You know what I mean? No, you have to beat other cars. You have to do the most impossible thing imaginable here. So you kind of have to leverage everything out. You kind of have to burn everything. And if you have to, at the end of this ride, whatever it winds up looking like, sell the car, just leave it and have it towed back home, whatever. But you have one objective in front of you and you cannot run from it.
Let's close this segment with another Stripes reference. I'm not parking it. I'm abandoning it. We'll be right back. It's R&R, and you're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we got a couple of championship games to get ready for, and I tell you what, it should be a lot of fun this weekend.
Who's facing the most pressure this weekend? I say San Francisco. We'll debate that coming up on The Blitz. Plus, the Spurs, they start a 7-game homestand tonight. Are they trying to win? We'll talk about it on The Blitz starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
Find LS Tractors at Dietz Tractor in Seguin, known for top performance, durability, and innovative features, and ideal for tough tasks like mowing, tilling, plowing, and hauling. LS Tractors are your reliable choice for farm, ranch, and landscaping needs. Experience unmatched dealer support at Dietz Tractor for parts and maintenance. They're not just selling tractors, they're building lasting relationships. Take advantage now. 0% financing available with approved credit on LS Tractors at Dietz Tractor in Seguin. LS Tractors, start blue, stay blue. Dietz Tractor.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's San Antonio area attorneys. Offices in San Antonio, Austin, and St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
With savings at the Home Depot, we'll get your kitchen clicking. With top brand appliances like a GE Profile refrigerator with convenient features like a built-in dual dispense autofill pitcher. Plus, with seamless shopping in-store and online, everything you need for your kitchen is just a click away. Final days to get up to $800 off select kitchen appliances from top brands like GE Profile at the Home Depot. Pricing valid January 4 through 24. Gas ranges and dryers extra. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
"This is ludicrous."
But that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
You can make the decision right now to get lasting relief from that awful joint pain for 2024. Don't go another year compromising because of that pain in your knees, shoulder. Call QC Kinetics now. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative non-surgical pain relief. Your body has what it needs to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue, and QC Kinetics can make it happen. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. The future of pain treatments has arrived, and QC Kinetics has tens and thousands of satisfied patients all over America. People with back pain, hip pain, any pain associated with arthritis or an injury. This is not a Band-Aid. This is a revolutionary treatment that can get you moving again, get you your life back. And best of all, it's non-surgical. If this is your year to decide to fight back against that pain, take the first step now and call QC Kinetics to get a free consultation on the calendar today. Call 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
It's the Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rind Appreciation Day celebration. Enter to win $5,000 cash, tailgating prizes, plus Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds when you pass the pigskin. Enter at porkrindappreciationday.com. That's porkrindappreciationday.com. And make sure to pick up the protein-packed, bold flavors of Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds today at HEB.
Base check. He's RJ. I'm Rob. He's the managing editor of Blogging the Boys. I spend my afternoons on the couch. Honesty, early in the morning. I mean, it's early morning honesty, and we're up against the break.
Okay.
We've run a little long twice.
Enjoy the couch.
I mean, it's not a
Your
problem.
recliner or couch? Like, you got to let us know.
I'm not a
now.
recliner guy. I'm too tall. I hate short recliners because the bar that's supposed to be on most people's feet hit me right in the middle of the calf. My feet kind of angle off. So I've never been a recliner guy. Movie theaters are the worst because they're very comfortable, but they're not comfortable for tall people. So you just end up sitting while everybody else is reclined because my knees can't take that weird angle of my feet dangling off the end. One of the tall
Now that I
people
think about it, and anytime I've seen you in one of the sports star houses, that we've done, you're always on the couch. You need the long link.
Yes, I'm not a recliner guy. Mock drafts are out, and speaking of talent acquisition, we're gonna also talk about the talent on the Cowboys. All the teams that are still playing, you think they'd want any of our guys? Would they be able to replace anything they got? Are we that good? We'll talk about that in the Cowboys draft possibilities coming up next. You're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Talk.
The Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon.
I love San Antonio, man. I love it.
On 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer. And now a message from Puffs Plus Lotion Tissues. Ordinary tissues can leave you with a red nose, so choose Puffs Plus Lotion for all of your blows. Puffs have lotion to soothe sensitive skin, so you can wipe without wincing. It's a win-win. Puffs have cushiony thickness, which brings relief too, so the days of sore red noses are gone and through. When you're after soothing softness, a nose in need deserves Puffs indeed.
San Antonio Card House, the premier card house. It's a new year, it's a new month, but it's the same old thing when you're talking about SA Card House. They're giving money away. $125K giveaway running all the way through the end of the month, January 31st. 527 chances to win. You know our slogan, you got to play to get the pay. 17 hot seats drawn per day. Yes, per day, every hour on the hour from 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. And this month they pulled out the wheel. That's right, 20 spin the wheel to win. $500 all the way up to $2,000. And of course, it's SA Card House, so you got the multiplier. The multiplier bonus is 100 to 149 hours. You get 2 times the multiplier. Once you get up over 150, it's 3 times the multiplier. When you're playing that much, might get a little famished, might get a little hungry, might get a little thirsty. Bounce on over to Foster's Bar and Grill and order some food from one of those 3 fantastic chefs. Check it out yourself at sacardhouse.com. That's SA Card House, the premier card house in San Antonio.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Hi,
I'm Jason Thompson. I'm a personal injury attorney, and since 1994, I've been helping people and their families seriously injured or killed by negligent drivers. My website is alawyerforus.com. I use that phrase because I know that there's no way a regular San Antonian can possibly beat a billion-dollar insurance company alone. You will need an experienced attorney to stand up for you and get what you and your family deserve. This month, my father will retire after 50 years of practicing law, doing what he taught me to do, help people in need. Stand up for the people that cannot. Use the skills you have to help the people in your community win and where you can. When an insured driver seriously injures someone, a billion-dollar insurance company uses everything it can to pay as little as possible. Every insurance company you have heard of has a very large staff of attorneys already working against you. If you or a family member has been seriously injured because of a negligent driver, call me, Jason Thompson, as soon as you can after a collision. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or check out my website, alawyerforus.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Homeowners, this is not a drill. Do not put off replacing old, broken, drafty windows in your home one more day. Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies, can transform your home, fixing common issues like hot or cold rooms or sky-high energy bills. Renewal by Andersen's Fibrex windows and doors combine the strength and insulation of wood plus the low maintenance and durability of vinyl, guaranteed to never fade, flake, blister, or peel. These are truly your forever windows, backed by Renewal by Andersen's industry-leading warranty coverage. Just text WARM to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for no money down, no payments, and no interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings are only in January. Text WARM to 200-300 right now. Text the word WARM to 200-300. Don't wait. Text WARM to 200-300.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Joe Reinagle here. I want to tell you about something that has completely changed my life. I had vision correction surgery at Parkhurst New Vision. The results are amazing. The readers are a thing of the past. Hey, if you're like me and tired of those glasses, call Parkhurst New Vision at 210-585-2020. They offer a variety of services like vision correction surgery. So call Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020, or get them online at sanantoniolasik.com.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the Aggies. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Your San Antonio Spurs return to the court tonight as they begin a 7-game homestand that starts with the OKC Thunders. Trey Jones is questionable with a rolled ankle. We know how important he is. Tip-off's late tonight. It'll be at 8:30 down at the Frost Bank Center. It'll be televised on the 4-Letter Network.
This is R&R in the morning.
Man in motion, handoff, Pollard coming right. Bang, zoom, touchdown Cowboys.
Right in Yama, about 3 feet behind the line. Got it.
It's R&R in the morning with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. He is RJ Ochoa. I am Robert Thompson. That's what my mama named me. We're going to air our grievances at 9:30. If you have a pair and need to air, at 9:30 will be your time. See, what we do is we inhale and we exhale. In with the good, out with the bad. So at 9:30, to prepare you for a full day of effort and work, we'll talk about it. So prepare your grievances. We're talking Dallas Cowboys, and I think this is a worthy question to ask our valiant and loyal listeners. As a Cowboy fan, would you be amenable if coach and GM came to you as owner and said, look, we're going to be stuck with Dak next year. There's no getting around it. We'll do our very best to extricate ourselves from this situation, but it won't happen next year. The owner goes, all right, well, if we're going to do that, we better keep the guy around that got him this far anyway. I mean, the guy that we're keeping at the very least turned Dak into at least a month or so ago an MVP candidate. So if you're telling me that I'm stuck with this, my answer would be, all right, I'll keep him at least for a year. And we'll deal with whatever next. I'll do whatever I can to spread the mayonnaise out and spread the money out. But to keep him around and keep the head coach, what's next? And you go, well, to do this the right way, you're going to have to spend every penny you possibly can. Everything you got. This is an all hands on deck. If it looks like it might work, go get it. Mortgage the future, because it's all or nothing now. This is Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, and it's last stand time. We're going down in style. If we're going down, we might as well spend it all. And you expect Jerry to go, all right.
So as we have this conversation, it's the 8 o'clock hour in the right part of the country. And the headline graphic on Get Up is about the familial drama associated with the Dallas Cowboys.
Add
it's
that
amazing
to the
how,
mix.
I mean, like how much run this has all gotten. So CeeDee Lamb's mother has criticized Dak Prescott. Micah Parsons' brother has criticized Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's brother has tried to, I guess, exhibit patience with regards to this, but that would get annoying. I mean, I don't think anyone,
who are you?
Disagree with that. But offered an opinion about how, if I could get him to leave, I would. And at the very least, seem to make his opinion the most his own. You know what I mean? Of this particular trio. The more I've thought about it, as I don't want to say dust has settled, because the dust is still in the air. The dust is still in the atmosphere as far as I'm concerned. But we were flabbergasted that the Cowboys decided to bring back Mike McCarthy. But you said it, and I think you to use the prime Robism, hit the nail on the head, because they're stuck with Dak. You could look at it that way. Joel said it in the chat. They're pot committed. They've got to play this
pot committed as well put, yeah.
They have to play this out for 2024. And to your point, the guy you have running the show happens to be in a contract year and also happens to be the dude who got the very best version out of Dak Prescott this past season, obviously up until the playoffs. So it makes sense. Yeah. It does to run at this, one more time, the old college try, fifth year, victory lap kind of season.
I'm headed for the border, man, and we're going to go down shooting. So with that in mind, what will be the first sign that maybe this is the case? Because now it's mock draft time. We've seen Haircut make his debut, mock draft 1.0. Mel Kiper, if you don't know what I'm talking about. The annual tradition that is, especially for a Cowboy fan, the last week in January, we start talking draft. And here it sits. So how will we know by the draft that maybe they're following this prescription? Because I'm not seeing anything spectacular coming out of this draft.
So Mel Kiper and Daniel Jeremiah both had Arizona tackle Jordan Morgan going to the Cowboys at 24 overall. He does have some guard flexibility. But yeah, I mean, you said like, going down to the board or whatever, but like this is like we're going on the last road trip. Let's get a snack. And somebody's like, hey, I brought carrot sticks.
Yeah, like, whoa, okay, that's good for me.
What? So the first sign that they are, that they understand we got to do this. We have to try. We have to pull an all-nighter would be if they restructure Dak's deal. If they do not extend him, and if they restructure that deal. I mean, this will take some time. I don't think we'll even hear about it through the Super Bowl. But if they restructure Dak's deal, they're clearly, at least on paper, positioning themselves to be active in free agency.
Is there any deadline to do this?
The only deadline would be free agency, right? Because you would need that.
But I'm talking about anytime between now and the season. Is there anything that has to get done by a date so the money counts, yada, yada? Is there anything, an encumbrance? Is there one that's possible? Okay, I just am curious. So I'm kind of trying to set time frames here. So
right.
So the first step, and by your measure, and it's hard to argue, is let's see what you do with Dak as far as is the process in play. So that would be the Dak.
There's no deadline, but that is the first switch, right? Like this is this is a choose your own adventure sort of ride, and this is the first door you have to go down.
Okay, so
to go down. So after this, you have to it's Jim talking to Michael Scott in the office. You can't just sit there and do nothing. You got to do something. You're going to have to go sign some free agents.
Okay.
You're going to have to get crafty and cheeky. And they were last year, to their credit. I mean, they traded for Stephon Gilmore. They traded for Brandon Cooks. You cannot sit here and rest on those laurels. We need more. You got to do more. And maybe you don't bring Gilmore back. And,
okay, that was my question. Let's look in-house. So in-house priorities would be that you feel like if we're swinging for the fences, we're paying this guy right now because we can't without him. Who is the necessary in-house signees that we cannot slip away at least next year?
So I'm going to couch this by saying, when you're going down this path, when you're, last hurrah, whatever, we don't know, we're going to party like it's the end of the world kind of thing. You kind of have to assume, like almost assume that it's going to, like, you're going to catch some breaks, right? Like you have to live, on the edge and kind of not pay it any caution. And so you got to bring Tyron Smith back. If you're going to go at this and you're going to say, all right, man, we're swinging for the fence in 2024. You can't do that with a rookie left tackle or Tyler Smith at left tackle.
You want me to write him a check for 5 games? That's what you're telling me.
But again, like we're going to have to,
I'm with you.
Thread a needle here. And so you're going to have to bring Tyron back. You're going to have to hope that he survives, and you're going to have Tyler Smith play left guard, because that first round draft pick cannot be spent on that. It cannot, not that it would be a redundant usage of the pick, but it cannot be something that you have an opportunity. Yeah. Who cares about the future? You know what I mean? Like right now, we're throwing one big house party and we've got $10,000 to spend, and you're like, well, I think we need a new roof. It's like, Rob, I don't care. We're going to blow the roof off. You know what I mean? Like, who cares about the roof? So, I mean, we've got to, you've got to bring Tyron Smith back. That's probably the most.
That's the painful one. That's the one where you go, ow, man, I thought we were done with this, because that's money I was kind of counting toward help other places. You know what I mean?
You have to hope. So not only do you have to bring him back and you have to pay him, and he's got a little bit of leverage because he played really well last year. He actually played some games, but then you have to hope. And beyond all that, you have to, maybe Tyron's like, I want to retire, man.
I got no hope.
I mean, like, you've got to hope that he plays every single game or plays a lot of games.
Next thing I got to do.
Next thing you got to do is you got to be willing to let some dudes go. You got to be willing to let Tony Pollard go.
So Pollard goes.
You got to be willing to let maybe Stephon Gilmore go. Like
Gilmore goes.
You've got to be willing. I'm
down with that.
Decided on Gilmore. I'm willing to entertain that. If with Trayvon Diggs back, your secondary. If Gilmore wants to be around, wants to be a big brother, wants to just kind of be a part of this, yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to convince him. You're like, you got to put on your best smile, your best suit. You know what I mean? Like you cannot sleep.
Okay, so who do they draft? What tells me they're charging forward? Is it a skill position of running back, wide receiver, yet another tight end? I mean, what will tell me that maybe they are eyeing like we need something now here? Linebacker.
I mean, that's their biggest need right now is linebacker. They got run over because Dan Quinn just thinks he can play nickel and dime, and he got nickel and dime. I mean, every team that crushed them was so unafraid of their little dudes. Every team that played them was like, you're just going to have these like 205-pound, safeties pretending to play linebacker? Sure.
Well, okay.
We'll run right at you.
You just hit a problem, though. Are we drafting for Dan Quinn or are we drafting for the future? Because if we're drafting for Dan Quinn, we're going to have another 225-pound, very fast linebacker.
No, you've got to draft. I mean, there's some places where these things marry one another. Like you need a line.
Not at 24.
You can't. I think there are calculated risks that you're going to have to take, like Tyron Smith. But you cannot take a calculated risk on Leighton Vander Esch. We've just learned that over and over and over again. So you've got to find some more classic, tried and true off-ball linebackers, some middle beef to kind of patrol the middle of your defense to help stop the run, because you don't have that right now. And again, Marquise Bell ain't it. Damone Clark's only like 230. Like he ain't it. So you can certainly throw your first-round draft pick there, but you've also got to get active in free agency. You've got to bring some run-stopping badasses, because you don't have anybody like that. And that's exactly what Green Bay did. That's exactly what Miami did, although not as effectively. It's exactly what San Francisco did. Look, it's not a coincidence that San Francisco's in the NFC Championship game. They have Dre Greenlaw, and Fred Warner, who are able to handle the likes of these things. And when you can handle the run, the play action doesn't work as effectively in most cases. And that's what, Green Bay, they had their tight ends healthy. They were able to just push you around with Aaron Jones. And then when you finally had to pay enough attention, they went play action and they killed you. So you have to be willing to devote enough resources to stop that from happening.
Going on a road trip. We might not be coming back. What are we taking with us?
Oh, Rob, by the way, the Packers defense that shut down the Cowboys offense in the playoffs, the most important game of the season, they just fired their defensive coordinator. So, Joe Barry had an awful season for the Packers for the most part, but of course, he shut down the mighty Dallas Cowboys offense. But the Packers are moving on.
You'd have thought that was enough.
I mean, anybody who's watched the Cowboys for 30 years would have thought that.
I mean, you can legitimately say we're talking about it as we speak. News break in the DC for the Packers. Joe Barry done after 2 interception game on Dak Prescott. That'd have been enough for at least another year. More news to follow there. That's an interesting story.
His last win as the Packers DC was shutting down the best offense in the NFL.
What have you done for me lately? Is it time to spend every dime, extend the credit card, get everything in the car because we're going on a road trip to New Orleans, the Caesar Superdome next year? Maybe we coming back, maybe not, but it's a one-time affair. Is that what the Cowboys should do? Spread the mayonnaise, get Dak in and out as fast as we can, and just keep everybody for one more run and see how it goes, and then just pick up the rubble afterwards. We're going to continue talking in that direction for sure. The Spurs playing host to the Oklahoma City Thunders tonight. It's a battle of the Rookie of the Year candidates. I don't know if it's even a contest anymore. We're gonna talk some Spurs. We're also going to look at the lineups that we've seen lately, the things that have worked for the Spurs and why and who has been involved with those moving parts. The best 5 starters and players on the court at any given time gives you some insight as to where the Spurs have been successful and guys that have played well with others that you might not have seen. We're going to go down that list at 8:45. We're going to be joined by Dr. Jason Garrett of ROTY as we look at injuries coming into this championship weekend. All the games live right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Hey, on the other side, as the coaching carousel continues to turn, Bill Belichick's name's been mentioned an awful lot with the Atlanta Falcons, but this might not be a done deal. Is Atlanta going to pass on Bill Belichick? And what does that say about this current coaching crop? Is there time to turn over a new leaf? Is Belichick just demand too much? Questions that we will ponder. That's next. He's RJ. I'm Rob. We're glad you're with us here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Over the last couple of months, or it's been longer than that, we've had an opportunity to head over to SA Card House over there on 281 and Bitters. And, for a guy that's kind of new to the card game, I played poker all my life, but I was always afraid to walk into a place and be the guy that was taken advantage of. Be the guy that, everybody just kind of victim and you'd be playing against, sharks all around you. That's not the vibe you get at SA Card House. One, it's very welcoming. The people are great. Everybody's so very helpful. It's friendly games. It's big stuff, man. These guys are serious. There are serious tables there for sure, but they're very welcoming and helpful. That's been my experience every time. And for new types like me, you really want that. And if you're going to spend some time there and win the kind of money that can be won at San Antonio Card House over the month of January, you want to feel welcome and taken care of, right? But time spent is worth your while. All month long, there's $125,000 on the line that can be won by customers for just playing and winning and being there. Butts and seats for time. If you're there for a long time, they're spinning the wheel all day long. There are 17 hot seats every day where money can be won. I see numbers up to $20,000. There are multipliers for being there for a long time, up to 3x on your spend. So many benefits for just going to a place that's happy to have you. And while you're there, you got great food all around. The Foster's Grill's fantastic. Go there for breakfast. Prove it to yourself. Go there for the evening. Boy, they do a steak as good as anybody in San Antonio. That is the truth. That's why I love San Antonio. Go get in on the cash. Go get in on the fun. Go win yourself some money and go play some games with people that have fun doing it. That's San Antonio Card House. Go there today, and I know you're going to be thanking me later.
The NFL playoffs are here.
Read all about it, baby. One last drive.
Wild card, divisional, conference championship, and Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. Hear it on your exclusive home for the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. You stop running because your feet always hurt. That's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem, and it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from ROTY. At ROTY, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. ROTY treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arosty.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arosty, we fix pain fast.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson. I'm a personal injury attorney, and since 1994, I've been helping people and their families seriously injured or killed by negligent drivers. My website, alawyerforus.com. I use that phrase because I know that there's no way a regular San Antonian can possibly beat a billion-dollar insurance company alone. You will need an experienced attorney to stand up for you and get what you and your family deserve. This month, my father will retire after 50 years of practicing law, doing what he taught me to do. Help people in need. Stand up for the people that cannot. Use the skills you have to help the people in your community when and where you can. As my father told me a long time ago, insurance companies are not trying to get to heaven. They're trying to make a profit. You cannot blame a lion for being a lion. Hire a hunter to help you. That's me. If you or a family member has been seriously injured because of a negligent driver, call me, Jason Thompson, as soon as you can after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or check out my website, alawyerforus.com.
My New Year's resolution was to get better at saving, and so far it's going fantastically, all thanks to Kohl's. I just shopped their biggest clearance event of the season and saved up to 85% after an extra 50% on so many great finds, like a warm fleece, cozy PJs, cute jeans, gorgeous dresses, and so many other faves. So don't wait. If you want to start saving more in 2024, get to Kohl's. Select styles up to 85% after an extra 50% offer ends January 28th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Progressive covers pets in our auto policy at no extra charge. Now let's hear what your dog has to say.
As a dog, I think Progressive's auto pet policy is... Oh, what is that? That's just my tail. Weird. Anyway, Progressive protects... There it is again. See? This is why I need protection. I'm so distracted. Nope, that is still my tail.
Progressive Auto Insurance covers pets for up to $1,000 in a car accident at no extra charge. And we think your dog would say that's great too. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage for cats and dogs included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms. Not available in all states.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
It's January again, and that means we're all rethinking our food choices. Daily Harvest makes sticking to your goals super simple with their chef-crafted, frozen, ready-made meals delivered right to your door. From mouth-watering smoothies to savory bowls and gluten-free pastas, Daily Harvest food is built on organic fruits and vegetables. And the best part? There is never any gluten, dairy, or ultra-refined sugars. Visit dailyharvest.com and use code HARVEST for up to $65 off your first box, plus free shipping. Or find Daily Harvest in a grocery freezer aisle near you.
Get deals on what you need during MVP's bonus days at Lowe's. Right now, save $250 when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch sliding miter saw and adjustable stand together. Plus, save $710 on an LG kitchen suite and earn 3 times the bonus points on all LG appliances. Because Lowe's knows savings, Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Bonus points calculated before tax and fees after applicable discounts of any. Valid 1/15 to 1/26. Subject to change.
It is time to play Pass the Pigskin for a chance to win $5,000 cash and tailgate prize packs. Celebrate with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds by entering the Pork Rind Appreciation Day giveaway at porkrindappreciationday.com. That's porkrindappreciationday.com. And don't forget to pick up your favorite bold flavored protein packed Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds today at H-E-B.
Cowboys play here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If I was to ask you if you knew the best 5 the Spurs could put on the court at any given time, one that is most productive by game minutes played together, points, point differential, all that. Who would it be? We're going to talk about that in just a couple of minutes. But first, it seemed like, Atlanta had jumped into the swimming pool, RJ, first, that they were going to get Bill Belichick, the legend that is or was, early on. That was the first rumor, was him going there, Harbaugh going to the Chargers, and everybody else can go find the scraps. Is that still the case for Atlanta? Are they still hot on Belichick?
It does seem like it's cooled off a little bit. They had that second interview a week ago, but do you know how many people the Falcons have interviewed to be their head coach?
No.
I want you to guess.
Well, Rooney and Belichick too. I don't know.
They have interviewed 14. They have interviewed 14 people.
Get the hell out of here. That's stupid. Well, they put it on Monster. Is it on LinkedIn? Can I apply for the Atlanta job?
It's on Indeed.com. I just look. I made the case for the Cowboys, right? Like, why not at this point? And we've already kind of hashed this out. Whatever. I've just kind of accepted the mud that we're in. We're in the quicksand, so just gonna wait till it slowly envelops us, and we're just gone forever. But if you're the Falcons, what the hell are you doing? Like who are you? Like, who are you?
Well,
especially who are you? As the
no,
Falcons
RJ, slow down just a little bit.
I'm not slowing down.
No, this is why I say this.
No.
Because I get the sense, and I say this begrudgingly because I don't like it, but I've had to accept the fact that the way things used to be done doesn't always mean it should be done this way again. And I get the sense that when we talk about the legends, you had the quote, either die a hero or live long enough to be something like that. I don't know what the exact.
You either die a hero, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. It's Harvey Dent.
The Harvey Dent. It's not the size of the fight and the dog. It's the anyway. When these two are in very similar situations, and sometimes while you're preaching the word hasn't changed, but the way you're saying it, and more importantly, the way that it is being received has. Your recipient is not what it was, and they don't take things the same way that the previous have. They don't get coached the same way. They're not motivated in the same way. And maybe Belichick's way of coaching and management is done. And they polled the players and the rest of the team, and they go, you know what, man, I know enough people played up there. And the only thing that kept them around was the rings. Everything else was like, man, it's all right, but I'd be someplace else. But I know every year I'll compete for rings for a little bit less money. But if I had my druthers, I would not be here. And I get the sense that's across the NFL.
Look, that's fine. But there's a remote possibility. Even if you want to call it remote.
It's not even remote.
But there's just a fine. Let's put a number on it. There's a 15% probability that Bill Belichick is still operating like the greatest coach of all time.
I think there's more than that.
Right?
Honestly.
Okay, fine. Call it 25 if you want. Call it 1 in 4 chance.
Okay.
You're gonna thumb your nose at that for what? I mean,
well, you come in. Here's what I'm saying. I'm
Aaron Glenn.
I'm Arthur Blank, and I've had a franchise.
I think it's Blanc. If we're playing, murder mystery, who done it?
I've been around this cat. They threw me out of a bathroom so he could go to the bathroom in Atlanta. They literally, the cops came and hey, you got to get out of here so he could come take a leak.
Was that the party Wolfgang Puck cooked for?
It might have been. It might have been that one anyway. So if I had that kind of money, I'd be the same way.
Mr. Blank needs to use the commode.
So, but this is that kind of guy that they clear out a public restroom at a very big event so he can walk in by himself and take a leak. So I'm that guy. And you come in and you're Bill Belichick, who quite frankly has not done much since Brady left. Literally you're like, dude, what were you exactly? And you start telling me this is how you do it to win. And I'm like, it seems like the way you win is draft Tom Brady. And everything else after that is just however you tried it. But first and foremost, it's kind of like when people go, you want to be a millionaire? First thing you got to do is go get $1 million. Well, you want to win the Super Bowls. First thing you got to do is go get Tom Brady. Well, you lost him and you're just average Joe, man. And before you had him, you were less than average Joe. So why would I take you? Then I hear players don't even like you.
What have the Falcons done since 2018?
Valid point.
And to that point, to answer the question, they went to the. I don't think that Dan Quinn has ever gotten enough credit for this. I'm really down on Dan Quinn, but it's really hard to make it back to the playoffs after losing the Super Bowl. It's really hard to make it back when you lose the Super Bowl in the worst way of all time,
right?
Which the Falcons did. They made it back to the playoffs not only in 2017, the very next year. They won a playoff game. They beat Sean McVay's Rams, and he never gets any credit for that. I mean, that was a really, really difficult thing to do. But to that point, so what? If we look at that as some sort of inflection point between Bill Belichick and the Atlanta Falcons, which is dumb, but whatever. And Bill Belichick has not only done 20-3 to you, he also won a Super Bowl in your building 2 years later. Granted, with Tom Brady, fine, but again, if you have a 25% chance that that's who this dude is, you're gonna go chase Mike McDonald. You know what I mean? Like, what do you have to lose? You're the Atlanta Falcons. Like, you have nothing to lose. I do agree that Belichick is still maybe getting some mileage off of what was well earned. By the way, Chris Canty had a great line this morning on ESPN Radio. He said that Doc Rivers has got some Mike McCarthy to him.
Except there's a couple more rings. That is RJ Ochoa. I am Rob Thompson. On the other side, we're going to talk some Spurs. Dr. Jason Garrett's going to be here in a bit. We're going to talk Trey Jones's ankle as the Spurs prepare for Oklahoma City tonight and a 7-game homestand begins. We come back, we're talking Spurs, and in the immediate future, what do you look at? Is the outlook improving? 7 home games and a couple of winnable ones. One tonight that might be a surprise. We're talking Spurs next. Hang around with us. You're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, we got a couple of championship games to get ready for, and I tell you what, it should be a lot of fun this weekend.
Who's facing the most pressure this weekend? I say San Francisco. We'll debate that coming up on the Blitz. Plus the Spurs, they start a 7-game homestand tonight. Are they trying to win? We'll talk about it on the Blitz starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Some of those old injuries, they begin to creep up and things begin to start hurting again. I finally got to the point where I'm like, I can't just wake up and know my knee's going to be bothering me and push through this on a daily basis.
Old football injuries can't keep former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter down. So he decided to check out the all-natural regenerative pain treatments at QC Kinetics.
I was fortunate enough to obviously sit down with QC and kind of understand your body still has the ability to heal in it. We just need to give it a little bit of a boost.
Exactly. QC Kinetics concentrates your body's own healing agents in your painful hips, shoulders, knees, or back.
Everyone can say, well, you need to replace this or replace that, but it's no surprise to see people being willing to try this first, especially when it has such great results.
QC Kinetics treatments take place the same day right in the office. No downtime. Call today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
Well, family, this new year is off to a great start. Everybody, how are those New Year's resolutions?
Dear, my resolution is to cut my damaged hair and just start over.
Dad, my resolution is to take better care of my skin. It's so dry. Ew.
Pops, my New Year's resolution is to work out at the gym. Go up and drink a gallon of bottled water every day.
My resolution is to take up skydiving.
Mom, you're 96.
Don't you make me get it.
Family, my resolution is to replace all our appliances that have been destroyed over the years by hard water.
Sounds like your family needs to start the new year off with installing a Connecticut water system and get a head start on all those resolutions.
This guy's making sense.
There's a reason why we say Connecticut is the last water softener you'll ever own. Call us at 656-PURE. I'll even let you try a Connecticut water system for free. We'll change your water, and it'll change your life.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Connecticut. SA.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-382-4752 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-382-4752. That's 800-382-4752. What do you have to lose? Call 800-382-4752. Again, 800-382-4752.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
O'Reilly. Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery needs to be replaced, our professional parts people can help you find the right Super Start battery for your vehicle and budget. Don't wait. Get your battery tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
R&R in the morning on 94.1.
Start every one of them with a bright, shiny RJ Ochoa mug right in your device. Can you imagine every morning about 6:04, you open up your bright eyes and get to see that face, RJ Ochoa? I do. You should too. Make sure you have subscribed the appropriate ways, liked, and getting things going. We got a lot to talk about this hour. Dr. Jason Garrett is on deck. He's going to join us as we talk Spurs and ankles, both Trey's and Zach's, as they begin this 7-game home stand. Spurs coming to town. But first, before we go there, they're home for 7 games. This team is trending up. This is an opportunity tonight for the Spurs to play on national TV as Oklahoma City comes in. This is a late-night game, and they are bringing with them a big old, tall Chet Holmgren. A second-year pro by every measure but one that matters, that with the Rookie of the Year. Zach Lowe is of the Low Post podcast. Outstanding work. We all love Zach Lowe. Every now and again, though, all of us, me included, get a little over our skis. Zach Lowe is, in my parlance, a little over his skis on his take with Chet Holmgren and Rookie of the Year.
So I've had Chet all season long, and it's the weirdest Rookie of the Year race. I don't think there's ever been a race like this where you could, if you wanted to, make a statistical argument for either player. If you wanted to, right? You like Wemby's got the raw stats, Chet's got the efficiency stats. I just don't remember a year like this when you have statistically guys both putting up big numbers. One, obviously, he had a redshirt season, but he walks into a great team full of ball handlers who can set him up, including an MVP candidate. And another guy on a horrible team, bereft of ball handlers who can set him up until surprise, Trey Jones starting has helped. Who could have ever anticipated that? And the Spurs are, where are the Spurs now?
Take that as a dig.
They have not won very many games. I don't understand. Yeah. They are 8-35, last in the West.
This is nothing
the
but
Thunder are
he's holding a shovel.
29-13. So the Spurs are 17.5 games or something behind the Thunder. I don't know what you do with that because, I think Wembanyama is the best player of the two, short-term, long-term, medium-term. The team context
he's better short, long, and medium
universes apart. Wembanyama is doing everything for San Antonio.
Everything.
Their games ultimately don't matter.
They matter.
Why don't?
Because you say that. Because you said they don't matter.
Because those stats matter, don't they?
Oklahoma City's games are important. When they lose 2 games in a row in Los Angeles, they face scrutiny internally and externally about,
did they lose them?
Big roadblock
Doesn't matter.
Thunder? How do they respond? Do they respond by winning at Utah, winning at Minnesota? The Spurs face no space. They could lose 11 games in a row. No one cares. There's no scrutiny. There's no question.
You care.
There's no scrutiny. We don't care.
I think Wemby has opened up the window a little bit where this could become a competitive race. I still think I would lean.
You mean when he hung 33 on Embiid? Now, he took 70, but he did hang 33 on him. I'm not kidding. I mean, he took 70, but he put 33 on Embiid.
I can't remember a year like this where I had to stretch 14 different ways to disprove something in the name of proving what I want to prove. I can't remember a year where it was this hard for me to, take 3 lefts instead of 1 right. I mean, what a load of crap. I mean, seriously, like, why? So the games don't matter? Like the losses that the Thunder have? The losses that the Thunder have, Rob,
those are more important.
They're not only
less important. Losses are less important to them.
No. They're important, but they only exist to create points of adversity
for
the Thunder to respond to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the fact that the losses happened is really irrelevant and insignificant and moot. That's not meaningful in any single way. They lost in Los Angeles. Who cares that they lost? What matters is that they won after that. So if the Spurs win after losing 11 in a row, to quote Zach Lowe, it's not important that they responded to any kind of losses. It's just they're meaningless games. They don't matter whatsoever. If they're meaningless, then get Joel Embiid out of the record books because he beat a meaningless Spurs team and dropped 70 points on them. So it's really kind of a hollow record, if you ask me.
There is no meaning to this season for any of them. I do want to get at something as we talk about, since Trey Jones showed up, and I'm not sure if Zach was digging on Trey like he ain't good enough to do this, or it was kind of like
it was a backhanded.
Well, I wasn't sure if I think he might have meant it like, of course Trey Jones was going to help because anybody's better than Jeremy Sohan. I mean, anything would have been an improvement. I think maybe that's the way he was going, though. Either way, but we do have a problem. We saw Trey Jones limp off at the end of the game the other night, and of any change this year. That we have really seen the benefit of growth. It's been with Trey Jones on the court, and he might not be there. Let's talk about getting him back with Dr. Jason Garrett of ROTY. He's coming by for his weekly. Good morning, Doc. Are you in our fair city, or are you someplace cool?
I'm actually driving to Houston right now.
Well, that's not cool.
Kind of in between.
Bucky's time.
It's raining.
No kidding, man. Whereabouts are you? You hit Schulenburg yet? Don't speed through Schulenburg.
No, actually, there's a few places you don't want to speed because there's speed traps everywhere.
Well, drive safe straight ahead, and we will ask you questions that are apparent and easy, so to get you where you need to be. And it's good to catch up with you, man. It's been a couple of weeks. We saw Trey Jones leave and limping off, and we saw Zach Collins miss weeks with a high ankle sprain in the process of return with a young guy like that. It looked like it was bad, but not terrible. What did he go through the last 24 hours, and what are the expectations for Trey to play in what appears to be, what is a game that actually is important?
Yeah, if it's a high ankle sprain, he's not going to play. He's going to be out for a few weeks. Don't rush that back. Usually it's not. Let's just assume it's an inversion ankle sprain, which I know you've had before. Anybody that's ever played basketball has had an inversion ankle sprain. It's going to swell up pretty bad. It's going to hurt a lot. If it's your first one, it's going to take a couple weeks before you come back. If it's a recurrent one and you've had it a few times, a lot of times you can play almost immediately on that, depending on your pain tolerance,
right,
how well it's taped up, and how aggressive you get with the treatment right away. So sometimes you can come back the next day, definitely within a week, depending on the severity. If it's really, really bad and it's one of those first ones, we'll probably be out for 2 or 3 weeks.
What has he gone through the last 24 hours? What is the process of getting him ready?
So it depends. If you're really aggressive with it, you get him in those game-ready boots where it's compressing it, it's icing it. You do that over and over and over, just trying to push the inflammation out, speed up the healing process. Then you get some aggressive manual therapy. So you get someone to dig in there, get on the ligaments that are strained and muscles that are injured, and just work them out. Get him on his feet as soon as possible. Because if you know anybody that, or if you've ever been on a trail run and you're a couple miles from your house, sprain your ankle pretty badly, but you're forced to walk back or jog back, you're going to respond really quickly versus if you sprain it on a basketball game, you immediately put it up and rest it. It's going to swell a lot more. Your recovery time is going to be a lot longer. So the sooner, assuming there's no structural damage, no tears, the sooner you put weight on that, the sooner you use it, the faster you recover.
It's hump day, which means we're looking forward to the weekend. And this weekend is conference championship weekend in the NFL. Deebo Samuel, his shoulder injury is kind of the thing that's hanging over this entire sort of situation. I think football fans, not that anybody around here is rooting for the Niners, but there are some. When they hear things like, well, he doesn't have a fracture, but it's like, oh, right on, like we're good. But I feel like that means that there could still be like 500 other things that are wrong and could prevent him from playing. What's your assessment of Deebo?
So if I were assessing him, I would basically be purely on pain tolerance. The fact that he played last week is a pretty good sign that there's no major structural damage. But like you said, just because it's not fractured, to fracture something, you have to damage a lot of the tissue that supports it. And so depending on the severity of that, if he can get ready, if he can loosen up and he can play, then go for it. He's probably not going to do anything serious. If he does hurt it more, he's got the entire offseason to have surgery, to do rehab. I wouldn't really worry about that. So if he can go, he should. I would give it at best 50-50. The fact that he couldn't return and he came out of the game last week is going to put it the 50 downside, probably a little stronger than the 50 positive side. If you can't come in the middle of a game with all the adrenaline going through you can't return, there's probably not a good chance you're going to come back next week. But, I mean, he's a football player. They're pretty tough, so who knows?
You know, when you talk about pain tolerance in prep, when you go in and you have to weigh the ramifications of deadening something that you could make worse, is the shoulder something that if it's hurt, that's about it? It's not going to get worse unless you do that exact same thing again, that you can just deaden it and hope, you know, that the possibility of getting hurt isn't as great? Or is that a place where you go, man, if you risk it, this could be awful, even though you have a full off season to prep?
So really both those options are correct, depending on the structures that are damaged. Because if you have a partial tear in a tendon, you can make that much worse. That's a significant injury, long-term recovery. Now, if you just have a sprain strain or the cartilage is bruised or a little damaged, you're probably not going to make it significantly worse. And so you could probably play on that. It really depends on what the exam showed and what the MRI showed.
He is Dr. Jason Garrett of ROTY, headed down I-10, man. Watch the windshield wipers and them brake lights, man. Thank you for taking the time and joining us today. Hey, drive safe, bro.
All right, thanks, guys.
Hey, we want to thank Dr. Jason Garrett for stopping by. And just a good conscience. If it's just raining like it is around here, I don't want him going into a storm talking to us about injuries.
Right.
So I want to thank him for stopping by. We didn't get to Zach Collins and his ongoing return from the bad ankle and the team that has changed. But as he left, then it was about the time when the Spurs began to kind of juggle their lineups, when we started to see Trey Collins start. And, there's been some experimentation at 6-man, Devin a couple of times, Keldon Johnson a couple of times. But now we're starting to see the rotation that I assume, apart from any deal that happens here in the next 2 weeks, will be the lineups that we're going to see to close the season out, as health dictates, obviously. And so when we were looking back, like, what's been the best thing the Spurs have done all year and how have they done it? Well, we went and looked and found the best lineups the Spurs have put on the court at any given time. And when we look at the best the Spurs have done, it is ridiculously obvious. It doesn't take the greatest NBA coach of all time to find out that Devin Vassell, Trey Jones, Champagny Slohan, and Victor Wembanyama are the best out there. Because people go, Champagny, really? Well, because Champagny doesn't demand anything. I mean, he is there to help the others. He is but a servant. And that is Sohan. He's a little bit higher level servant. And Champagny's been hitting threes at a rate that we were all surprised to see. That's why we continue to see him. That is a very good starting five. And it's kind of surprising that he is there. But as we've watched this uptick, I think we've seen as Wemby has demanded or been given more and more gravity, we're seeing this team kind of form without the presence of maybe a Keldon Johnson, which people would have thought he'd have been there.
I think you're right. Like, you almost need, wingmen. No pun intended here. I mean, but you need ancillary parts, around. You're right. As Victor thrives and progresses, servants is I don't like that way of putting it, but you need help, but you just need help that is categorized to be help. You know what I'm saying? Like, because too much help becomes overwhelming and disrupts the flow of things. It has to flow through Victor.
And we're getting, with every passing minute, with every passing game, more and more flow through Victor as he becomes that pivot point. If he's not the first, he's the second. If he's not the second, he's the third. And if he's the first, he becomes the third. You know what I mean? He is part and parcel to everything that happens, whether the shot is taken, he takes a dribble, or he makes a pass. And as we see different lineups, you'd think that Wemby's a part of them all, and he is. But when you look at the next best lineup, and this is total minutes played in games, so we can create games. Like that starting lineup that I gave you, 11 total games played.
Right.
Total minutes played with that starting lineup, and their offensive rating per game is 118. They're scoring at a great rate. Defensive rating at 109. They play better defense. And it's with Keldon on the bench. And I think Keldon, we saw in the Sixers game, as things were getting crazy in the fourth, as Wemby was just being consistently victimized, Keldon came in with a marching order of get into Wemby's chest. Get into Embiid's chest. Get to the rim, and if he can't foul Wemby, or they're not going to let him foul Wemby, or Wemby's taking fadeaway jumpers, maybe he'll foul you. Maybe he'll. And not only did Keldon go to the rim, he finished.
Keldon is the kamikaze, right? Like,
yes.
Hey, we need some chaos. Chaos, Keldon, get in here and just mix it up, right? Like, just take him down with you. That not in a literal sense, but like get some action going here, because we need somebody to come kind of rough things up a little bit. And so that doesn't necessarily lend to efficiency.
This 6-man, I'll tell you, this 6-man thing will keep him a Spur when it comes close, because he's going to be asked for a lot when we're dealing with players and trades and all that over the next year. Keldon's going to be a guy that's brought up in every trade deal along with Devin and everybody but Wemby. But if you have a guy who becomes very comfortable coming off the bench, a 6-man who's not going to question anything, who is ready to be that guy, though he's a starter in minutes and a starter in all the other categories, his name just isn't mentioned at the beginning of a game. If you can find that guy and Keldon fits that role, those guys are worth it. They're worth putting up with some of the things that Keldon does.
So kamikaze nature.
Yes. So I think as we format these roles as the season starts to complete, and we find a team that's becoming more and more competitive, these starting fives and who works the best really does play a role. Now, I say all that saying the chances of this best five being the best five at the end of the season are slim.
So I did want to bring up somebody who you are a big fan of that is popular throughout a very not completely common denominator, but a popular common denominator throughout these, highly efficient lineups. Zach Collins. I mean, like his presence is clearly valuable.
Yeah. But it keeps being redefined. The problem with what has happened with Zach Collins is we haven't really defined exactly what he's going to do and be.
I'm just saying, if you're reflecting off of the information, he has a role too.
Did you see that role being now? It's hard to quantify what we saw in Philly and a 70-burger dished up by the MVP. But I didn't see a whole lot of Zach Collins in that game. And I know he's coming off of an ankle, and I know that Pop was putting Wemby in the spin cycle. I mean, he was just he put him out there just to be beaten and battered, and he was. And he didn't want to give him any help. But I'm having trouble right now defining what Zach Collins is going to be short and long term, because he's not a starter. His shot selection has gotten from okay to bad. But he is a good player to have around. I think it's going to be his health that defines what he's going to be. And I don't think anybody's going to be chasing him. He'll be a pieces part if he's anything else. So I've kind of gone with the fact that Zach is here for the duration of this contract, or until it just about expires. So I like him, but I don't know what his meaning is to this team now after that injury.
Man. Jeez.
Well, I mean, this is what you go through when you're in a situation like this. There are people that we like that are not going to be here when the party truly begins. They're just here putting the chairs up and being the stand-ins.
If Twitter is any sort of reflection, I think the situation that we're in, I think the patience is starting to wear a little bit thin. I think we're at that point. People are now like, the wins have to start coming. I mean, I don't know what the threat would be, but the patience has kind of run its course at this point. And there has to be, we've talked a lot about the Cowboys, how there has to be blood. There has to be some sort of token given to us right now as Spurs fans. That token is either wins or more Wemby playing time, right? Like, we'll take either one right now, but you can't keep just putting him on ice, no back-to-backs, and just losing all these games. Like, we've already paid our service at this point in time. And so, like, your point, like, figuring this out is whether Zach Collins is going to be a part of it or not. Like, something has to give at a certain point in time. We're at that point in time.
Win some games. Give us a reason to watch other than see a guy get a point a minute or better. Give us a reason other than that, and I think we will kind of calm down. But we need to see some. Not 500, but I would say 40% would be a number that we're looking at. It begins tonight. 7 home games for that rodeo road trip turns around and brings its ugly head about. In the 9 o'clock hour, we're looking at the Dallas Cowboys, specifically Dak Prescott, with 2 questions. What do you do with him? And did the Cowboys fail him? At the end of the day, did they just not give him enough to get successful? Dak Prescott front and center. Hey, we're going to congratulate Adrian Beltre. The Rangers reign supreme, and so does Beltre as he goes into the Hall of Fame. We'll look at what he did, and we are airing grievances. Hey, hang around with us. We got a whole bunch to do. He's RJ. I'm Rob, and you're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, when people see me on a regular basis, they don't know what I used to look like. When I first walked into this radio station, you know, it's been about 8 years ago, I weighed 300 pounds. And, you know, when your memories start popping up on your social medias on the Facebook and you see pictures of yourself back when, you go, how did I even get by? How was I even functioning at that weight? And that's how I look at the past now, because I can't even imagine what it was like. But if you are still there and you're hard to imagine what it would be like to be without weight, I want you to consider this. When I first met Dr. Torres, I weighed what you did, and I felt a lot like you do right now. And he convinced me to just give it a shot, because it wasn't just a diet. It was an attitude about food that I needed to have adjusted. And it was a method in losing weight that I needed to try the old-fashioned way, fewer calories. You know, that kind of stuff. And all the things that he does to get your mind and body right to lose weight. And before you know it, you're losing weight and you start feeling good about yourself. And then it gets so much easier. But you got to take that first step. And to take that first step, you need to make the call. I want you to call and talk to Dr. Torres. He's always available to you. He's a good dude. Big Spurs fan, by the way. San Antonio through and through. His number is 210-468-1891. Good dude. He will explain to you why he's been so successful with people like you and like me. And then you get a chance to get on a program that you can live with from now on. If you have resolved to feel better, to look better, and all those things that go along with it, heck, June's not that far away. You can have yourself a beach buddy if you're really chasing that kind of thing. All I wanted to do was feel better, and I feel better now than I did 10 years ago. Can you say that? Call him today. Go to the website, iffhealth.com. Do yourself a favor. Call him today. Jump on a program that literally works. It did for me, and it will for you. And I know when that does, you're going to be thanking me later.
The professional football playoffs are here.
Out of the gun, back to Dak. Left side of the end zone. Touchdown.
14 teams with only one goal in sight. The big game in Las Vegas. Presented by Flight by Yingling. Hear it on your exclusive home. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George, because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games, with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. Football, basketball, all the UFC fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Celebrating 10 years in business, the Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
With savings at the Home Depot, we'll get your kitchen clicking. With top brand appliances like a GE Profile refrigerator with convenient features like a built-in dual dispense autofill pitcher. Plus, with seamless shopping in-store and online, everything you need for your kitchen is just a click away. Final days to get up to $800 off select kitchen appliances from top brands like GE Profile at the Home Depot. Pricing valid January 4 through 24. Gas ranges and dryers extra. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
"This is ludicrous."
But that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks. I want to tell you about Prize Picks. For those of you guys that like to play and watch games a lot of different ways, there's lots of different ways to enjoy it. I've been a fantasy football player since the very beginning. Heck, I made my bones playing fantasy football, and Prize Picks is the first one that truly suits me. If you're a DFS player, there's no better place to go than Prize Picks because my knowledge matters. This is a game of skill, and I'm not worried about entire teams. I'm worried about my favorite player, my team, my league. All I got to figure is where he might be, where she might be, pick over, under, combine them with other players, get some prize picks, get some fun, but at the same time, use my knowledge. It's Prize Picks, and if you'll go to prizepicks.com, throw the word Alamo in there for your little promo, I'll tell you what, you're going to make a little bit of extra, get a little bit going, but I'll tell you what, Prize Picks is the one place I have found I can take my fantasy love and take it to the game. That's Prize Pick. Download today, use Alamo, and I know you're going to thank me later.
Jason Minix here. Guys, your testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s. If you're feeling a lack of energy and drive, it could be caused by low T. Get your levels tested at Synergenics. They make it quick and easy, and with the convenience of their on-site lab, you'll get your results back at your first visit. At Synergenics, you will get customized care from testosterone specialists. Conquer your New Year's resolutions. Go to fixmylowt.com to book online. That's fixmylowt.com.
Hey, poker players, the Big Blind is open. With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. Whether you are seeking high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road, just down from the Roo Pub, offers daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Congratulations to Adrian Beltre, the former San Antonio Mission. Yeah, Texas Ranger third baseman got the call last night. He is one of only 3 selected to be enshrined in Cooperstown. That's right, he's headed to the Hall of Fame. He'll be joined by Twins catcher Joe Mauer and Coors Canaveral's own Todd Helton. And oh, by the way, Billy Wagner, 5 votes short. He's got 1 more year on the ballot.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
This is R&R in the morning.
Man in motion, handoff, Pollard coming right. Bang, zoom, touchdown Cowboys. Yama about 3 feet behind the line, got it!
It's R&R in the morning with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa.
Good morning!
I am Robert Thompson, a.k.a. Rob Thompson. Thanks for joining us this morning. If you've downloaded already, we appreciate you. If you've liked already, continue to do so. We'd like to congratulate everybody who has done such things. The numbers are outstanding. RJ, we're huge in the digital world. Huge. You seem less than impressed as a product of such things.
I was clearing my throat. I didn't want to do that to the digital or radio world. So thanks for adding me.
But thanks for everybody who has jumped on. Look, put a thumb on it, as we like to say around here.
Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Pay the like tax. Like the video. I see people watching the video. You're here right now. Like the video. It costs you nothing. All right. It's the one thing we're going to ask you. One thing. Just like the video.
That's all we ask. Look at him. Just one look at that face. Who wouldn't like that?
If you like the video and you comment, for every person that comments they like the video, Rob will wink at his camera.
I will.
I'll wink right at you.
Can you wink?
Don't do it yet.
Are you a natural born?
Don't give a free wink.
Are you a natural born winker? And I use an eye instead of an A.
Do you wink with one eye all the time?
I can go both ways. I can go both ways.
But what do you prefer?
I am a right eye blinker when I'm like being cool.
Arturo just chatted wink. Or you got to tell us you like the video.
Yeah,
Arturo,
that's it. Put a thumb on it. The airing of grievances is but 30 minutes away.
Oh, I have a good one. I have a really good one.
Tamp it down. Simmer down. You can amp it up in just a little while. You got problems we're here to solve, but first you have to vocalize the problem and exhale it. Air your grievances. Let it exit your body and your soul and your being and infect those around you. But you will be zen-like and ready to attack the day. That's what we endeavor to do. And as we head in, I said it as we went to break, and I kind of said it jokingly. But, it appears by most measure, even the Dak lovers are done. That it's good, bad, and different. You might not have been the whole reason, but you were part of the problem every time. And it's just over. Did we fail? Did the Cowboys fail him knowing that this guy was a 4th-round pick? And we've had how many offensive coordinators and the receivers were a rotating door. And, there were some things that maybe we could have done better. Or was it it just wasn't going to be?
So first of all, Arturo commented that he liked. So you owe Arturo a wink, Rob. Thank you very much. Now, I've defended Dak forever, and I will maintain a proper and objective level of defense. But that being said, what a ridiculous statement.
I know.
It is.
It is.
He inherited at the time the best offensive line in the NFL. Granted, they didn't build that for him specifically,
but he had.
He inherited one of the greatest tight ends of all time in Jason Witten. He inherited an incredible red zone threat in Des Bryant. He inherited, a situation with Zeke Elliott, who for the first part of his career was the best and most explosive, running back in the entire NFL. And I'm not saying that Dak has had it wonderfully, because they also did some really dumb things. They cut Des Bryant and they were like, we think that Alan Hearns and Tavon Austin
that's
and
right.
we think this will work, and it didn't. And to their credit, after 7 games, they said, all right, hands up. You got us. We're going to trade for Amari Cooper. And they brought him a dynamic weapon. Now, they also got rid of him because they were done and messed that up. But then they found him CeeDee Lamb. They found, think about,
you might be messing this up.
Dak deserves a lot of credit too, because he's also made a lot of players. I mean, Dak got Dalton Schultz paid. Granted, it was a 1-year deal in Houston. We'll see what happens to him. Dak has made Michael Gallup. They traded for Brandon Cooks. They obviously, let Zeke walk, and that was unfortunate as it relates to Dak. But I mean, they have certainly not,
valid points,
hindered him.
No, valid points. And I do
capacity.
think that there's a lot of support for him in the locker room for that and a lot of other reasons. So if we didn't fail him, then he failed us. So, one or the other, because we either gave you everything you needed, and as you like to say, and as is obviously true, both can be true at the same time. But
MTCBT.
But as we sit today and we look at over the horizon, it just doesn't appear Dak Prescott will be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys for very long after 24, if after 24 at all. And that didn't seem like that was even a remote possibility even a couple of weeks ago. That the Cowboys were destined to have to re-sign and prolong the pain just because that's the way the NFL is built. Last night, let's start with how the story began. You brought this up starting on Monday. Like, hey, man, I'm starting to get the sense that there might be an end in sight to this Dak Prescott thing, that maybe this might not be the thing. So Michael Gelkin, writer for the Dallas Morning News, a tremendous beat writer for the Cowboys, has an article in the paper today that RJ sent me last night. Explain to me the premise of what Michael Gelkin is talking about.
So when we jumped on there last week after the season ended, my stance was they have to do something about Dak Prescott financially. The most obvious solution to that is extending him so they can, apply some salary cap relief to their current salary cap situation. I would say that makes 90% of the sense of the available 100%. But the other 10%, kind of play is, and you can't just let it be. You can't absorb $60 million.
Right.
So you just can't do that. So the other option is I don't want to call it a poison pill, but for lack of a better term, the poison pill. You just restructure Dak. You kick the can down the road. You accept that he might be on the books for some dead money next year. And if he's playing for somebody else, so be it. You're all in right now. You're going to establish and accumulate $18.5 million in salary cap space. Michael Gelkin laid it all out in his article. Everybody check it out. Everybody follow him on Twitter at Gelkin NFL. And you go at it. You go at it this year. But you do not do that to do nothing. You also do not do nothing here to do nothing.
So to do this, if you're going to keep Dak, you better go make one last run.
No, you have to keep Dak for 2024.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, one last run in 24, 25.
This is undeniable. If you're gonna keep Dak, if you're convinced, if you're sold, Dak is our guy. We want him here. We've decided this. Well, at least for 2025 and beyond, right? For the next handful of years. If you've decided that, then you have to extend him immediately.
No one's decided that. So that seems like a non-starter. But I mean, is it a non-starter
the guy's a second-team All-Pro. The guy's a second-team All-Pro. Like it's not ridiculous to say like we want him around for the foreseeable future. So either way, you have to make one of these two decisions very quickly. Either one of these decisions, it's red pill, blue pill. I'm Morpheus, you're Neo. So saddle up and pick one. All right. You have two decisions. Dak Prescott is your quarterback in 2024, regardless. Decision one, we'll call this red pill. Which did Neo take?
I think it was the blue pill.
I think he took the red because red was the like I want to be awakened. I think blue was like I want to go back to sleep and be like a part of the machine. So red pill is the aggressive choice. Red pill is I want to restructure Dak Prescott. I want to create this salary cap space for the here and now. I'm prepared to risk him leaving. I'm prepared to risk basically any possible permutation of events in 2025 and beyond. Neo did take the red pill. Thank you very much, Ryan and Edwin. So I'm going to take the red pill. Sign me up for the adventure, including the unknown, even if it is, a potential, blow up in my face, right? If Agent Smith is going to come for me and my entire family and everybody that I love, including Trinity. The blue pill is I like where we're at. I don't want to rock the boat too much. I'm just going to extend Dak Prescott. Going to give him a 5 year. Well, I mean, you could believe in Dak. You could say we're not sold on McCarthy. That's why we want him in a contract year. But whatever happens in the future, whoever the head coach is, we want Dak Prescott to be the quarterback of this team. And so either way, you have to do one of these two things very quickly. You either have to extend Dak Prescott very quickly, which gives you the salary cap relief and establishes that he's a part of the future long term. Again, relatively short long term, 5 years, whatever. Or you have to restructure him immediately and get that salary cap space. And now, if you do take the red pill, again, you got to be prepared for the full adventure, the like sitting in that sack thing with all the liquid and the tubes attached to you and all that stuff. And you have to be ready for you have to be ready for the blowback, and you got to have the, come up moment like out of it. And you got to be ready for everyone to know that you are putting Dak in a contract year, that you are ready and you're actually leaning in the direction of walking away in 2025. That is the red pill. Rob, make a decision.
I am Jerry Jones. I'm a wildcatter, man. I've drilled a lot of dry holes. To be a guy in the oil business, you have to be prepared to risk it all. He has it more than one. I would say on more than one occasion, risk his kid's future. I would say that he has. I'm not sure how risk averse he is at this age, but I know that he's done it in the past. And if you parse it like that, I would say it's 50-50. That's the direction they're going. I don't think it's the likely way, but I do think pick
a pill. Pick a pill. Come on.
Here's the deal. Jerry, what else? What other option does he have but to do that? The reason I believe that it is happening is the fact that he kept his coach. I think that this was already addressed. Like, if we lose, this was addressed at some point this year. Like, if we don't make it as far as we want to make it, what will be our plan? Because we got to have something in the works. And this could have been in the offseason. Well, if it's this, we'll keep McCarthy. But if you're telling me I'm going to have to keep Dak around, the one guy that I can say has made Dak better is McCarthy. He made him an MVP guy. I mean, he cut the interceptions in half. The offense ran for the most part pretty well. He did it without a running back for most of the year. So I will give McCarthy another run. And I think that might be the first sign that Jerry is, in fact, on board with this. Like, okay.
So you want the red pill.
I want the red pill. I am all in on success or failure next year. Either we swim to the finish or we're going under and never to be seen from again, and we're going to blow this thing up.
While I acknowledge that you're willing to take the red pill, and I will offer that I'm probably willing to lean that way myself, I would just explain that I think the blue pill, while the red pill is associated with being the more risky, adventurous, proposition, I think there's an argument to be made that the blue pill is actually, you talk about being a wildcatter, the blue pill might be the more wildcat option, because the blue pill is, I am going out on a limb and saying that not only do I believe in Dak Prescott for the next 5 years, not only am I running counter to the history of quarterbacks having the type of success we seek this late in their careers, I'm so willing to believe in this one human being, right, but by nature of my blue pill, that I'm willing to acknowledge that I might be moving on from the head coach again. And I might have to pair the next head coach with Dak Prescott, and I might have to something that any would-be candidate could potentially see as a hurdle in Dak Prescott. So in some senses, the blue pill is maybe the more adventurous, wildcatting proposition.
Well, your term adventurous, I think, is dangerous. I mean,
it's chaotic.
Yeah, you're.
What kind of adventure do you see?
You're
Rob?
expecting
what kind of part are you looking for, baby? I got 2 pills.
Well, if you do that, you're expecting different returns by doing the same thing. I mean, we could go back to the insanity. I mean, if you really go
returns, again like
keep the coach and the player, and I'm gonna pay him some more.
I'm not likening Dak Prescott and his situation to either one of these. But were the Atlanta Falcons, wild for taking the blue pill and sticking with Matt Ryan as long as they did? Were the Indianapolis Colts wild for taking the blue pill and sticking with Peyton Manning for as long as they did? Again, I'm not saying. What do you mean it's dumb? The Falcons got to a Super Bowl. The Colts won one. I mean, it's not dumb at all.
Well,
There's
that wasn't sticking with Peyton
working
at that point. I'll say later in his career, but the blue pill is lazy. That's lazy.
Again, I think on the surface it appears lazy, but on the you gave Jerry some serious props, which I think were misguided. Whatever for taking heat for McCarthy.
Oh, he did.
The blue pill is I'm going to stick with Dak. The blue pill is maybe the bravest thing that he could possibly do and say, I am assigning the overall worth of my kingdom to one person, because it's not the pairing of Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy. I think the red pill's actually really lazy in one sense. The red pill's lazy because it says, you know what? This is on Mike and Dak. And if Mike and Dak fail, I'll just get rid of them both. They'll just move on and I'll just hire 2 new dudes. And that'll be fine. That's kind of lazy in one respect.
That's acting as if the place is going to be fine when they move out. Like, you've had good tenants. The place will be in rubble. I mean, you're going to have to rebuild everything when they leave. It's not like coat of paint and a new renter shows up. Dude, you're going to have to completely rebuild if this doesn't go that way.
But the blue pill implicitly says that there is somebody more important to the Dallas Cowboys than Jerry Jones.
Yes.
And that single person is Dak Prescott.
And that fits the narrative that Jerry will win, but only Jerry's way.
I would take the red pill, to be very clear.
Me too.
My only contention is I don't think the blue pill is lazy. I think the blue pill might be the more because you mentioned the term wildcat. I think the blue pill is the more wildcat option, but I think we're all seeing red. And so like, give me the pill, give me the pill. I want the pill. We don't even need water. Those are some, I can't believe people do that.
Well, that's a man who's taken a fair amount of blue pills over his day. They're not bad. That's a whole other subject.
Do you when you take any kind of medicine or pills or whatever, are you one of these people that can do it without water?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's weird, dude.
I chew on Tylenol. I chew it like
Skittles.
I chew it like what are those powdery chalk candies? The come in a roll. I chew them like that. Chew them like chalk.
Mentos.
Yeah.
Dude, that's weird.
I'm a man.
I think that's a weird thing.
Then I do it with a Scotch back. That's just how I roll.
Man, that is a strange level of behavior. I gotta have water.
Speaking of strange levels of behavior, I don't know where that's going. I don't know.
You can do it. No. Land the plane. Land the plane. Speaking of strange levels of behavior.
I was going to go someplace, and I don't want to go there because I want to offer some celebratory words for one Adrian Beltre. Baseball gods have spoken. We have 3 new recipients of a bust and a place in Cooperstown. We're talking Adrian Beltre, what he meant to the game and what he meant to Rangers fans. As Rangers continue to reign supreme, let's talk a little bit of baseball as the Hall of Fame has spoken. And after that, get your grievances ready, air them appropriately, and you shall too be cleansed. This is Rob and RJ on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. How you feeling this morning? Did you step out into the day freshly washed from your Connecticut shower? I hope that's you. If you're like me and you live out on a well outside of San Antonio, I hope you've got a Connecticut because it's value to my home and my property. It doesn't get any more than that. You know, coming out of the ground, that's some fine water. I'm pulling off the aquifer like you guys are, but I'm not getting all that stuff that Saws and the water board gives. I got to take care of it myself, and Connecticut does that for me. So if you're on a well around South and Central Texas, there is no better water softener manufactured than the Connecticut one for where we live. That limestone and all that other grit that comes through your pipes, that ends up in your mouth, on your hair, on your skin, on your dishes. You don't want that. You don't want your dog drinking that. Use a Connecticut. You don't have to worry about that anymore. And if you want one, how about you test drive one? The Connip is good folks and wants to take care of you and offer you 90-day prove-it deal. Call them today at 656-PURE, P-U-R-E. They'll come out post-haste, put a Connecticut in your home. You'll see what I'm talking about. 90 days worth of experience. And on the 91st, you'll be just like me and just like your neighbors. You'll become a Connecticut water softener customer for life. They say, I believe it, it'll be the last water softener you'll ever own. Take that first step. Call 656 6 Pure. Find out what I know and your neighbors do too. It's the best water softener for you. Thank me later.
The NFL playoffs are here.
Read all about it, baby. One last drive.
Wild card, divisional, conference championship, and Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. Hear it on your exclusive home for the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
Marcus, what happened?
I was changing my oil and I spilled some on the floor.
Oh, well, use these $50 bills to wipe it up.
Perfect. Got any more?
Yeah, take a couple hundred.
Stop. Instead of using money, use an old rag. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
To my newborn baby boy, the day you arrived was one of the happiest days of my life. Right up there with the day I bought my RV from that guy on the internet and insured it with Progressive. What a deal. Just know, son, I'll always be here for you. And by here, I mean in the middle of absolutely nowhere. In my RV.
Protect your baby with an RV policy from Progressive. Take as little as 4 minutes to see what you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Don't miss out on limited time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $100 when you spend $999 or more on all major appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 1/4 through 1/24. Selection varies by location while supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
Is your phone plan messing with your savings plan? Don't get stuck paying for things you don't want. With Verizon, you only pay for what you need. And for a limited time, when you bring your own phones to a Verizon store, you'll get an amazing price on your plan. Plus, you'll save on things you actually love, like the Netflix and Max with Ads bundle. And it's on our award-winning 5G network. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today for an incredible deal. A better plan to save is Verizon. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon on my new home, 94.1 San Antonio.
You're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, hear your hot pocket.
I was discussing with Private Ryan, our DH, breakfast. It's getting in that I'm getting hungry, and I was telling him about my breakfast. That In the morning, we don't have time. I have access to a microwave and a vending machine. And a toaster. So Pop-Tarts, I've made oatmeal over there. I'm tired of what I've been eating for breakfast, and I need to be reasonably healthy. But yesterday I was in the grocery store and I bought just a small package of Hot Pockets. Back in the day, I used to enjoy those things. It's been a minute. I haven't had them in a minute, but I liked them. So I thought maybe for breakfast I'll grab one and bring it to work. So I grabbed it, didn't pay any attention, put it in my lunchbox, my MERS, and my tote. And showed up to work and put it in the microwave this morning. But as I pulled it out, it didn't. My Hot Pocket didn't come with that, that paper sleeve that you slide it in that gives it the crispiness and stuff. Mine didn't come with that. So I microwaved.
Soggy.
Yeah, it just turned into, it was like dough full of ham and eggs and cheese. It wasn't. The flavor was good, but texturally, no, that didn't work. I don't know if I got a. Is that what Hot Pockets are now?
I'm not a big Hot Pocket person.
Oh.
Actually, recently, we were in the grocery store, and I told my wife, I said, "Let's get some pizza rolls for my son." For my son,
Molten lava rocks. Yes.
Yeah, but they were for my son.
Yes, for your son. That's the benefit of having kids around. Is all that fun food you get to eat again.
Yeah, he hasn't had one. But I had, I made some. One day I was just kind of like, oh, I'll make them really quick in the air fryer. They stunk. Like they were not anything that I remember them to be. So I did want to say before we got too far away from it, can you remember the percentages that are divvied up in Remember the Name by Fort Minor? We came back with that song.
No. I honestly don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
The bumper that we came back with, very, very famous song.
I was discussing Hot Pockets at the time.
I know, but the bumper that we came back, very famous song. This is 10% Luck. Do you know the rest of the chorus?
20%.
Thank you,
Private Ryan. I don't know. I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
So
what
you don't know the song Remember the Name by Fort Minor?
No,
you clearly didn't play high school basketball in 2004 because it was that and Till I Collapse by Eminem. Like those are the two songs that you just kind of hooped to.
See, there you go. That's at that moment in 2004, I was raising an 8-year-old and a 3-year-old. I hadn't been in a basketball gym for some time. Nor had I heard of what's his name? Fort Worth? What's his name?
Fort Minor. The chorus is, this is 10% luck. I want you to tell me if this applies to anything in life. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15, being completely serious here, % concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
First of all, I was told there'd be no math, but my algebra 302 tells me that's over 100%, so it's not real. And
what percent of you is concentrated power of will?
117%. By the effort that I'm giving,
maybe a little bit more after that Hot Pocket.
You can't tell that. I honestly, I don't know that song, and I never have heard it before. So forgive me for my ignorance.
I'm telling, just go put on some tear off pants and go hoop. Yeah, I promise you will feel alive. I mean, and then just
what's this?
Let it happen.
Tear off pants.
The pants that like snap on the sides that you wear over your uniform.
If at any point post playing career, if you are anywhere other than a gym where people have actually paid money to walk in and watch you play, you're no longer allowed to rip your pants off. You're no longer allowed to walk into a gym and have the snaps on the side and go, who's got next? You cannot do that anymore. You have to give that up on the last game that you play. Now, speaking of the last game that you play, the last game that the Oklahoma City Thunders played, the team that's coming to San Antonio tonight, they played a role, although unwitting, in a Travis Shamockery, the likes of which I haven't seen in the NBA in a long time. Go watch the video. I don't want to get into it, but there was a poorly refed sequence that it ended up causing an ejection, 4 technicals, and a literal change in the game. Now, granted, a second-year player at OKC had to hit a shot to do it, but he should have never even been in the situation to take the shot because an arrogant, ignorant, I don't know what you call that ref, decided to get over officious and start slinging tees because he doesn't understand the game. Wait a minute, I'm early. We're going to air our grievances in just a moment. But what I am getting at is the Spurs play Oklahoma City tonight. Pay close attention to this game. This feels like to me as I wake up as one that the Spurs might be able to sneak up and get, because there's a couple things in play here. Because not only are the Spurs upticking and they're coming off a valiant effort in the face of an unbelievable effort in Joel Embiid, but let's reverse the negative and slap it back into whatever. Joel Embiid got used by Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama, this 20-year-old kid, hung 33 on the MVP. He did. Now he gave up 70, but he did. That is a true statement. So if Embiid hadn't done 70 and only done 40, conversation would be very different. I say that because now, as we're in the second half of the season, it's now time to start counting your chickens and see if you got what you thought. And I think we've got ourselves not only the Rookie of the Year in Victor Wembanyama, but an all-star on his own. On its premise, he is already an all-star. And he gets an opportunity tonight to go against the second-year pro, and Chet Holmgren.
Tonight is for Wemby. I expect tonight an effort of, all right, this one's for you, man. We're tired of Zach Lowe disrespecting us. Trey Jones is going to be like, I'm tired of catching these strays from Zach Lowe acting. And by the way, even the backhanded nature of that is that's a notch in Wemby's favor. If you think Trey Jones is bad, that only serves to boost Wemby's case. But whatever. Yes. Tonight is for Wemby. Tonight we ride for Wemby. All the concentrated power of will is behind Victor.
That couldn't be put better. Say it again.
Tonight, all of the concentrated power of will is behind Victor.
Prepare your grievances to be aired. It's next. You're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, we got a couple of championship games to get ready for, and I tell you what, it should be a lot of fun this weekend.
Who's facing the most pressure this weekend? I say San Francisco. We'll debate that coming up on the Blitz. Plus the Spurs, they start a 7-game homestand tonight. Are they trying to win? We'll talk about it on the Blitz starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
There's nothing I love more than to buy a 5-year, 10-year, 15-year-old car with great miles and great condition, especially the kind that you might have inherited from a loved one. My name's John Clay Wolf, CEO of America's Best Car Buyer. GiveMeTheVIN.com. You can go to GiveMeTheVIN.com, put in your license plate number, bada bing, bada boom, get a number quickly and at the top of the market. We love to buy cars.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Find LS Tractors at Dietz Tractor in Seguin, known for top performance, durability, and innovative features, and ideal for tough tasks like mowing, tilling, plowing, and hauling. LS Tractors are your reliable choice for farm, ranch, and landscaping needs. Experience unmatched dealer support at Dietz Tractor for parts and maintenance. They're not just selling tractors, they're building lasting relationships. Take advantage now. 0% financing available with approved credit on LS Tractors at Dietz Tractor in Seguin. LS Tractors, start blue, stay blue. Dietz Tractor.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Tri-County Meat Market, your locally owned full-service meat market. Tri-County has 2 great locations, Keebner Road and Ralph Fair, stocked full of everything you need to up your grilling game. You're looking for the perfect cut of beef, they've got it, and if they don't have it, they'll cut it for you. Roast chicken, prepare foods, they've got it. The 5 for $25 is always in play. If you're a first responder, 10% off the best meat you're going to find. Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either location, put some good meat on the grill, and thank me later. Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks. I want to tell you about Prize Picks. For those of you guys that like to play and watch games a lot of different ways, there's lots of different ways to enjoy it. I've been a fantasy football player since the very beginning. Heck, I made my bones playing fantasy football, and Prize Picks is the first one that truly suits me. If you're a DFS player, there's no better place to go than Prize Picks because my knowledge matters. This is a game of skill, and I'm not worried about entire teams. I'm worried about my favorite player, my team, my league. All I got to figure is where he might be, where she might be, pick over, under, combine them with other players, get some prize picks, get some fun, but at the same time, use my knowledge. It's Prize Picks, and if you go to prizepicks.com, throw the word Alamo in there for your little promo, I'll tell you what, you're going to make a little bit of extra, get a little bit going, but I'll tell you what, Prize Picks is the one place I have found I can take my fantasy love and take it to the game. That's Prize Pick. Download today, use Alamo, and I know you're going to thank me later.
Don't let pain keep you from doing the things you love.
I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. Whether you've been living with chronic and nagging pain for years, or if you've recently experienced an injury, our goal is to get you out of pain as quickly as possible. Arasti is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, Arasti accepts most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Jackson Hewitt has a plan to get your tax refund fast with a buck here, buck there. Here a buck, there a buck, everywhere a buck.
You don't have to wait weeks for your tax refund. Get money sooner with a no-fee refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-Do.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Listen to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on your Amazon or Google smart speaker and just say, Alexa, play 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. As I like to say, we are just the beginning of a full sporting day. He is RJ Ochoa. I am Rob Thompson. I have found that as you begin the day, and most of you are beginning while RJ and I are either ending or about mid to 3/4 of the way through, to start the day, you need to start with a clean slate. You guys are just rolling in. It's 9:30. Had your coffee, sitting at work. Jenkins has already come by and laid stuff on your desk you didn't expect. Gonzalez called in again. And Jones doesn't know what the hell she's doing, never has.
Right.
So here you sit.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it's only Wednesday. Now, you're over the hump. It is, as Joe likes to say, and I'm not going to do it. You're going to have to listen to the Blitz to hear it today. It's good to let that badness out and start your day fresh because there's still all day today and 2 more days before you start to see an end to the sight. So we like to let you air it out, let you go. And I started the day, I almost lost it earlier with the, it's this ongoing problem with officiating. But and there's sins of, I had an old coach that used to say there are 2 kinds of problems on a court. There are sins of omission and there are sins of commission. Either you chose not to do something or didn't understand how to do it. You didn't do it at all. Or you did something you weren't supposed to do. And I will always take a sin of commission. I will take a sin of activity. At least you did something. It was wrong, but at least you took the step. Don't just let things go passive. But last night was a sin of commission from a referee who decided in his own idiom that he was going to literally take control and give a W to somebody because he didn't like what was going on the court. Go watch the video of what happened last night in Oklahoma City. As number 98, I'm not going to forget it. I watched him give a double T on a call that he missed. It was an inbounds. They were going to just call a timeout. The whole world knows what's going to happen there. He didn't. So the kid gets fouled. Brogdon gets fouled. Then he calls a double dribble. Double T. Suddenly the ball gets changed over to Oklahoma City. They get a shot to win it at home. They get it and they win. This is only 6 times in the history of the NBA has an ending of a game been overturned or replied. This needs to be one. That was a catastrophic embarrassment. If I'm Vegas, I'm pulling it off the board. What the hell was that?
So your team, Chauncey, team Prime Rob is team Mr. Big Shot. You want this win revoked.
I want the end of the game played appropriately. Let's go back to the moment before that stupid double dribble was called when you should have given them what they asked for, what they were going to do anyway, and let them finish out the game instead of changing over, offering double technicals, expulsions, and putting a team in a possibility to win where they had no business being there. By the way, that's the team that's coming tonight. This is a team that Spurs might be able to jump tonight. But my grievance goes back to the very heart of, we heard the coach from Toronto talk about star treatment and players that, they had 24 free throws. We had 2, and he's doing it in his best European anger. That night and last night are that cannot ever happen in front of paying fans and gambling fans.
That's a great point.
That is unacceptable, untenable, and you got to fix that.
Then predict it. Are you like this gets overturned? Call it. Shoot your shot.
I think if it was
for
me,
Chauncey,
I would. The last one that we saw an overturned game was back in 2007. Shaq O'Neal, it's hard to say O'Neal. You can tell I'm reading. Shaq was incorrectly ruled to have 6 fouls when he only had 5, and he had to sit out. And they said that was a mistake. We're going to go back and finish it from that moment. The game was resumed after the previous game, but no one scored in the last 51.9 seconds of the replayed overtime when they played a game. Then they went back and played another game. It was a 2-for that night. And the Hawks ended up winning the game again, but they redid it.
Yeah, at least it was proper.
Go back to let's go Superman and reverse the spin of the earth and take us back. And then let's just do it there. That's all we ask. And that ref, that one, your next game is with the Albany Patroons. Your next game is with the Aguas Calientes, whatever they're called, because you don't get to be in the show like that. That was too much. And if I'm Chauncey Billups, dude, every time I see him, I'll never forget that. Any grievances?
You asking me, or are you?
I'm just, in general. I mean, anybody got anything?
This is we're starting this. This is a new thing, right? Airing of grievances, Festivus, so to speak. Now, mine is a little completely different.
I have another one. I'm full of grievances.
Okay, so mine is very unique, and this has been like kind of eating at me for a little bit, and it's more of an annoyance, but it does fall under the definition of
let it go, baby.
I recognize that there will be some people who will be upset at what I'm about to say. I live on the internet. That's what I do. I live on the internet. I'm on the internet. I'm on social media.
A person of your times.
All right. It really bothers me when people are talking about sports teams, right, on the internet. When any analyst or opinionist or anybody, an individual, not a brand.
Are we considering
account,
every source or just those that are in the industry?
Yeah, I'm talking like people in the industry, like somebody with a significant following, somebody who creates material for a living, whatever that looks like.
Gotcha.
Now, I'm not trying to put people in boxes. This generally tends to be people of an older age. I'll just say that do this.
This is headed in my direction.
I'm not against, again, brand. If the Sports Center account wants to do this, if the NBA, the NFL account, big mega non-human accounts want to do this, it's a different thing.
Okay.
When you're talking about 2 teams, a team, 3 teams, you're listing out teams, whatever, you do not need to tag the team in your tweet. Like, what is the purpose? Like, is the team? Are the Chiefs going to retweet this? Are the Magic going to retweet this because you said something about? And again, I'm not talking about like fan X, fan Y, fan Z. That's like, man,
maybe they'll notice me.
Like, the at Celtics, really need to get it together. If you want to complain about, I also think that that's kind of, just screaming into the void. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. But it like when you hit send on this, in your mind, on some level, you were thinking, this is a banger.
Okay,
they need to know. They need to be alerted. They want to interact with this.
Because, I don't know what the hell I'm doing on most of the things that I'm doing in the digital world. I really don't. You tell me how to do it and I'll do it, but I don't know why I'm doing things. And, to me, whenever I'm calling out I feel it like if I was tweeting and I was an influencer of the type that I'm not, but if I was and I was calling out the Dallas Cowboys and it was something specific and I kept doing it, I feel like it's a more professional way to at least attach to them what I'm saying so they hear it from me. It's not, I'm just not saying Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones suck and I'm tweeting it out and then somebody goes and tells them, you know what Rob said down there? No, be, for lack of a better word, man enough to go, yeah, I said it and here it is. I attached you to my statement.
Like, do you think, like, so what by tagging them, by attaching them on some level, right? Even if it's a deep, very, very, very extended level in your mind, you are thinking they're going to see this, right? I want them to see this. On some level, that emotion exists. So, like,
that's my ego.
What's the best case? What's the like ideal outcome here? Like that the team is like, you know what, Rob, you're right.
They hire me and make me general manager and let me do what I want to do.
Prime Rob, you're spitting facts, bro. You know, go off. Let him cook. You know what I mean?
I'm defending this because RJ, I'm so guilty of what you just said. I've done that.
I hate when people will tweet out like a stat and they'll be like, you know, the last five people to do this. Like, again, imagine if somebody had tweeted out the night that Embiid dropped 70, like those
Joel, great
players.
game.
And no, but not even that. Like the 9 players in NBA history to do this were at Joel Embiid,
listed every one of them.
And they're listing everyone, and not only every player, but every team. Like, again, like, you know, like the Lakers are going to quote you and be like, respect. Like, what? Like,
that is such a modern world take because, you know, my thought is, yeah, you want to include them all because you never know. You never actually know. My next grievance, and if you've got one, 656-3776. Yeah, let them out.
These can range anywhere.
Let me tell you what happened to me.
Anything that is.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's.
So last night was I watched that OKC game and was furious. Just furious. So the game's over, and I don't even like Oklahoma City. I don't want them to win. I got Chet Holmgren was a whole other issue, but that was just wrong. So that's over, and let's unwind. It's almost time. So my wife and I, my lovely wife Kelly, we've started watching. Again, the True Detective series is back on Cinemax Go, whatever, Max Go, Go Max, whatever it is.
Right. The Jodie Foster season.
It began last week, and we watched the episodes that were available. In this day and age, drop the whole series. Don't just do one a week anymore. The serial, come back next week, and you'll see. We're past that. That's of another era. Give it to me now and let me decide. I'm already paying you for it. I'm already giving you money at the beginning of every month. And you're just like, okay, well, you get 3 episodes of this, if you'll remember. Or you can come back in about a month and a half, you can get them all. But right now, you're going to have to wait. We're past this. We are past, guess what's coming up next? No, give it to me now and let me decide how to consume it.
Okay. All right. That's a good grievance. That's also a modern one. The worst is what you said, when they drop enough for you to get into it.
Yes.
Like they drop 3. They drop 3 like the first week, and then it's like, well, only 1 a week from here on out. You know what I mean? It's like, how do I ration this? Like, I don't have the patience to be able to, do this anymore.
And there's guys like us,
oh, I'm just gonna wait,
who have to spend most of our time watching other things. So I got to watch live sports events. So when I have some time, let me have the opportunity to get it all, because I'll tell you what, I cannot count the number of series that I have stopped watching because they're dripping them out like this. Most of them I don't finish because I'll go a month, 3 weeks, a couple more, and then I'll go, what did I miss? Well, I don't have time to go back and watch that. There's something else new. And if they're just dribbling it out, I'll watch 1 or 2 of those until I can get into one that I can watch, 8 hours worth. And then I'm going to binge it all. And by the time I'm done with that, I've forgotten about that other crap. They're actually hurting themselves instead of they think of us. I can't wait till next Sunday. I'm over that, man.
Interesting. If I can piggyback off of this grievance with one of my own, I don't like, so you're in a show, right? You're on episode 5, 6, you're cooking with gas. Everyone's enjoying this. It's all copacetic. and the beginning of the episode comes on, and they're like, and maybe you're even binging it, right? And they're like, here's what happened last week on True Detective, and you're like, I just saw this. Like I literally just saw this 5 minutes ago. I don't need to see this. I want to skip the recap. The skip recap option needs to stay up for the entire recap.
Yeah, don't give me just 3 seconds. I got to find the remote. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like they put it up there for like a flash, and I'm like panicking, like, oh no, I don't want to be trapped and watch this 30 seconds of what I just saw. Leave the skip recap option. The other night we were watching Traders on Peacock, and then I actually tried to skip the recap and it kept pausing it. So then not only was it pausing it, I had to then fast forward like a caveman. Like leave this. Who is it hurting to have the skip recap?
Just a few more seconds
for the entire recap.
The average time to find the remote after you hit play and set it down. That you just need to give me that long, not like you want to see this again because you hear that song. You go, oh no, here it comes. You can't get there in time. And by the way, the James Pledger came up and he said there is one side to this grievance that he is right. The good news about the trickle out release is there's never a spoiler. Nobody's going to watch it and say, did you see how it ended last night? You're like, dude, I'm only so there is that.
This is incredibly narcissistic, but I like it when I'm a part of it. So True Detective, I'm not in on, so I hope you're enjoying, but it's cool in the sports off season when there is an effect similar to say like Sunday Night Football, when there's like a prime event that like everyone's kind of
looking forward to, like the Game of Thrones nights.
Yeah, exactly. When you can come in on Monday morning, you're like, holy crap, did you see Succession? Like, wow. And everybody, it's like, top of mind.
But the percentages of those are so minuscule. I mean, maybe if 1 in 40 episodes.
Well, you haven't even watched Succession. What are you doing watching True Detective? You should be watching Succession.
Well, the problem is, I'm to the point where the commitment is such I don't have the time. Like, I'm not going to watch 5 seasons of anything until I am on my back for something. Like there's nothing else to do. I just don't have the time to commit to that because, like I said, there's other stuff coming and there's live sports. You get in the way of that, I'm leaving you behind. So you might as well give it all right now.
Wow.
Because I missed out like with Succession. I missed like the first 8 weeks of the first season and I never went back because I would have had to wait till next week. So
today's grievances are NBA officials, I guess by proxy, the Oklahoma City Thunder. People who don't know how to properly tag sports teams and sports figures on social media. The slow drip release of television shows on. I wouldn't walk back what you did. I get like if it's on a service you're paying for, it's a different thing. If it's a show it's on cable and they want to release it 1 per week, that's fine. That's cable television. But if you're paying for the streaming service, fair game, your grievance in my opinion.
That's going to cost $8 more. Oh, you want to see the end.
Skip recap. Leave the skip recap up. Like I've got a blanket on me. I've got 2 dogs on me. I have like 4 cups with different things that I'm drinking. I've got my phone. I mean, like I just can't find it that quickly. And then what happens is I'm fumbling for it and I drop it in the recliner because I sit on a recliner. I'm as tall as you, and I'm stuck. Now I have to watch the whole recap.
3 minutes of your life you're never getting back. You're never going to get. And literally, you just watched the episode right before. Most of the time, I don't need a recap. I'm going from show to show. I don't need it.
We live in the most difficult times. There's no doubt about it.
It's hard being in this day and age, especially if you're a young coach. News of the day that started last night that I'm sure going to be covered front to back all day long is the Milwaukee Bucks have fired their head coach. You're going to want to hang around all day long for thoughts on that. The Cowboys situation with Dak is ever growing, and we'll see how it goes as now inside the ship. We were talking about CD's mom and a variety of other family members are coming down on Dak. I can't wait to hear what the Blitz has to say about that. Greeny is just around the corner. You got Rome coming in on a vine, and then you get the Blitz on a midday fun weekend with championship football in the offing. So as you prepare for this full sporting day, the first thing you need to ask yourself is, will I be playing golf with the rest of the San Antonio Sports Star crew? And if that answer is yes, go to sasportstar.com. Get yourself signed up. We are going to run out of room. I can't warn you enough. RJ, speaking about running out of room, we're running out of time. Any words to part with after exiting the negativity in your life? You have 10 seconds to do so.
Drink more water. Drink all the water in the world. Drink. H2O.
You heard it.
The professional football playoffs are here.
Out of the gun, back to Dak.